you miss me?
Nah,
All right, so
not
then
at
what the
all.
fuck are you doing here? I told you I would do the show by myself. The fuck? Well, just, you know what? Matter of fact, here, hold on a second. Hold on. Hi, this is now the Logic's Thoughts podcast brought to you live. And no, I can't do that to him. Hold on, he missed a week. He was sick. That's the only reason why he wasn't here. He was sick. Hold on. Screenshot it. Somebody screenshot it real quick. Hold on. His camera's lagging. Screenshot. Okay, no, it's working now.
Am I frozen?
No, you were, but now you caught up. You're with us now.
Hold on. You know what? I'm gonna cut off. I'm gonna cut off all the lights in the house. I'm gonna cut off every app possible.
I
My
fucking
phone's gonna be
told
shut
you the
off. I'm gonna
fiber.
shut everything off.
Where's your son's fiber?
Oh, we're in the process of that shit. Now, I'm getting
Telling
me
you,
that cat fucking seven cord.
order the cable
Oh,
already.
bro,
It's like $10.
I'm gonna hook up my cat fucking cable to a goddamn satellite or something. But I'm getting a new laptop.
There you go. We talked about that. It's very good.
Yeah, we talking about that. Hey man, not even a upper respiratory infection can hold me back.
Nope.
If you guys are wondering why I wasn't here or we didn't go live last week, I was under the weather. That's just like loosely said.
No, legit.
Um,
You weren't feel. You were pretty
yeah,
fucked up.
I dedicate myself to what I do with this channel and everything, but man, that thing wiped me out. So like I spoke to you on a Friday, Saturday we did a thing with
We
my
kept in
daughter's
touch
18th
every single
birthday,
day. We were in
and
touch.
it
Yeah.
was just boom, like weights hit my chest. I couldn't
Yeah.
breathe, boogers everywhere. It was just bad. And I woke up that Sunday. I was like, bro, I'm not gonna make it. I even forgot to like shut off the because even Money told me that the notification came up and he went into a room and it was just him with one other person.
Oh my
That
god.
that I forgot to shut that off. So man, I was out of it though, man. But I appreciate you guys being patient with us here, man. I know a lot has happened this week, a lot. So I mean, as I was laying up in bed, I was writing all the stuff we got to talk about this week. Exciting for gamers, man. A lot of information came out this week. But with that being said, I didn't do much this week as far as gaming in the beginning half of it. I literally started get back to gaming like maybe this past Friday. I would say Thursday, Friday. Been playing some Insurgency. I still play that game, even though I don't tweet it out and people are not tweeting it no more. Insurgency, Back for Blood. I've been so heavy on that. I've been playing that with Reborn and Money, and just going crazy. And who else? Oh my god, I forgot his name. But we've been going crazy on the game, and it's like we ran through veteran, and
Right.
we got a crazy melee build that just goes through
Oh,
the game.
weren't you playing with Reborn?
It was Reborn, Money, and oh my god, Sunda. Jesus
Okay.
Christ, Sunda. We're
Nice.
playing with Sunda, all four of us, and we ran through Recruit. It's funny because we were watching people just tweet out, "My God, Recruit, this is ridiculous. The it's only Recruit is hard," and we've experienced that before. But when you play with people like Reborn and Sunda, and they tell you how to like build stuff with the card decks, my God, we were meleeing big the big monsters.
They were five heading it the whole
Just
time.
the
Well,
whole
but
the
that's the
whole
whole
time.
idea of the game too, is that, and not to get too into it, but that they want you to play it multiple times. They want you to play it on the easiest level to get your cards, so that when you go back to the harder levels, yeah, no, they're hard. There are some would say too, and we'll talk about it, that they might be a little too difficult. But if you
Oh
actually
no,
have the
yeah, they
card
gotta
set
tweak
up,
that here.
if you had the right card set up after unlocking cards and stuff like that, you could go in there and make some crazy, like the craft building that you could do and the setup that you could actually have with the cards with your person. It definitely, that's, I think, where that replayability factor and things like that comes into play. And obviously still, having fun with your friends playing, because that's what it's good for. We know that the shooting is there. We knew that from the
It's
beta.
solid. Shooting
The shooting
solid.
was
That's all
there,
that. Yeah.
everything was there. But that's cool that you were actually able to get those games in with
I
everyone.
got some, but that's before I got sick. After I got sick,
Yeah.
when I came back from that, the one game we ended up playing last night, late night. It was me, Draven, not Draven. Your brother got locked off, but it was me, Money, Nick. Shout out to Nick. Nick was in the party and Frez. We were playing golf with friends.
Yeah.
I might be
I had
pronouncing
it
it wrong.
installed. I didn't get the invite, but it's fine. It's okay.
Yep.
Everybody thought that I was fucking away.
Look,
I don't know how to answer text messages and
for
stuff
those
like that.
for those who watch
Perfectly fine.
and follow and know the party chats, when
We've
you see
only
a
been
lot,
talking for fucking weeks about getting on games and playing together and stuff. The second you feel better and get an invite, everybody's making assumptions. Oh, Logic? Oh, he's probably playing League right now. Don't bother him. It's all right. It's all right. Don't bother him. He wouldn't want to
look,
come and play
you're
golf.
going for that gold statue trophy thing that you haven't done for 3 years. So I leave you alone. I don't bother you with the invites.
No, it's fine. I'll just listen. And I got my gold, and now I
I
get
see
to
that. I
celebrate with
see that.
my Master Chief.
I
Me,
see
me and
that.
the
That
me and the
gold
Chief.
helmet back there.
Shout out to the Chief.
Shout out to the Xbox. Right
Yeah.
there.
Shout out to the Chief.
Yeah, that I told you before we went live that the visor on that looks freaking
I'm
shiny.
going
I
to talk
love
about it a
it.
little bit when we get to the catching
Oh
up
yeah,
part.
yeah, yeah.
We're still catching up with you, so continue.
Catching up with me. So yeah, man, it's one of we played that game. We played hours of that damn thing. I've never played that game ever. I see Frez that he played it so many times, and I'm going, what's so fun about that game? I was that guy,
Yeah.
questioning somebody else's fun. I'm like, why is he having fun? What is that? Fun games with I was like, whatever. But yet Nick suggested, he goes, hey, you guys know what this game is? I'm like, we have people that play that game. I'm not really interested in it. He goes, let's do it. We'll make it a game night tomorrow. So we made his suggestion, it's a short download, like 3 gigs, real quick. Downloaded it and we
It's
started
small.
playing.
And Game
It's
Pass.
small. And it's on
Small
Game
Game
Pass.
Pass.
It's on Game
Yep.
Pass. Shout out to Game Pass. Shout out to Microsoft making my holidays a good one because I saved a lot of money with Game Pass and now I can go ahead and spend on gifts for myself. Fuck them
Hashtag
kids.
not sponsored.
Uh,
Not sponsored yet.
no, fuck them kids. Anyways, so my kids because they expecting gifts and they're like 19 and 18 now. My daughter just celebrated her 18th birthday, so we ain't doing all that. It's my turn. So yeah, and we played that for hours, man. I put it on Twitch. So if you guys want to check like the replay on that, it's all on Twitch. We had a blast. Oh, I figured out the audio coming over through the Twitch stream. I figured it out. Like I kept
How to do the pass through.
how to get the party chat in the actual
Very good.
stream.
Very good.
I've been
Yeah.
researching, and here's the suggestion. After all of the research I did, all the complications I went through that didn't work, one guy like stuck out. He said, "Hey man, just restart the app, delete it, and re-download it. It'll work."
Like
Chef
the Twitch app in the Xbox?
in the Xbox. I'm like, that shit ain't gonna work. Like, you know what? I did everything else. Let me try it. I reset the
Uh-huh.
shit, and the moment I started up Twitch, money said, "Oh, I got the message for me to include my audio." I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And I'm like, what is this? Like, but it works now. So Money's voice is on it. Nick decided, no, I don't want my voice out there. It's too sexy. People can't handle it. And then Fred,
Pussy.
huh?
I'm sorry. No, it's okay. We're fine.
Okay, we're fine.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then Fred didn't want to put his voice. So it was just me and Money, and we were just having a blast. If you guys want to check out that replay, it's
Nick,
pretty
I'm
cool.
kidding, by the way, if you heard that.
I didn't even hear what you said.
I know you didn't hear it, so that's why hopefully nobody else heard it. So we're okay.
I can't
But
wait
if
to hear
Nick
the
heard it,
replay.
I apologize. I love you.
So, chat, that's my week. And then I've been working behind the scenes on this channel. Doing Logic has us as well. I mean, he's put in some work this week. He blew me away. That's why I say I got the best co-host in podcast. In podcast now, I wouldn't say history because it's been many, but in podcast now, like that's what I would say. But that's my week, man. That's my week, man.
Well, I'm happy that you're feeling better, that you're back on your feet, gaming, and not sending me fucking invites. But it's okay. I digress. We'll move forward for that because
See,
I
guys,
had a good week too.
the party
I
chat
had-
going on private, the VIP thing. That's not
listen.
just for
Well,
everybody. That's
I'm
for him
okay
too.
with
See that?
exposing it because I didn't even. You see how I didn't even bring it up too. It's almost like in the back of my mind, I was leaving it for the fucking podcast. I was like, ooh, this will be spicy. Let's create some like fake drama and shit.
Fake drama.
Maybe somebody could write like a twit longer about
No,
it.
man,
Like,
we gotta put
are
this
they really
this
like
fake drama. We gotta put on Twitch.
like
On Twitter
how
Spaces.
long will they last? Was this a match?
We gotta put this on Twitter Spaces, make it a whole big old drama.
Oh yeah, no, that's it. But individual spaces. Like I start a space and you start a space, and then we just
and then mine says, I hate this guy. You said I hate this guy. And
mine said non-inviting fucking ass. Like what kind of friend? You know what I'm saying?
And then hold like
Look,
a 6-hour
look,
fucking Twitter space.
look, missing, backing me up. Ready? Look, shout out real quick before I on my week.
Oh,
Look,
whatever.
See, it's not a narrative. It's not a narrative when other people. It's not a narrative when other people back you up. Just remember that, okay?
That's fucked up, guys.
See, look, and 100 heard what I say. It's okay though. Nick loves me. It's okay, even though I'm stealing all of his fucking tags. It's fine. Okay.
All right.
But yeah, anyways, back to my week, dude. I got gold in League. Thank you. Shout out to the Turbans.
I saw that.
Shout out to the Turbans.
Amazing feat.
And both. Well, because I got gold in Flex. It was like 2 weeks ago. I think I talked about it. And it was good. It was cool. Like Flex Q, just a real quick explanation. Flex Q, you can play with a minimum of 3 people, and you could also have 5 people. You can't have 4 people because they don't want 4 people beating up on one person, like on your team, like 4 people on a team, and then they don't want the one odd person out. So like decided it's like majority rules and shit. So they don't mind it that if you queue with 3 or you queue with 5. So anyway, so we did that. So we was able to get gold. So that was cool. And then, but then I was like Turpin was fucking with me. He was like, "Oh, how do you feel being gold?" And I was like, it's good. It feels good." He was like, "Well, what's wrong?" I was like, I want to get in solo duo queue." And he's
Yeah.
like, what do you think? Like the gold is in it's not the
Is it?
same.
Is
Like
not the
it
same?
doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't feel the same. He was like, well, think about this. He was like, the ranks that you were playing against, like when we were playing Flex, right? And I said, yeah, they were like plat. We were in some diamond games too. These like 2 tiers up, not just like platinum, like
Yeah.
above
Like
gold,
a
diamond
platinum, but
above
above platinum
platinum.
plus.
I was playing against fucking people in queues and we were winning games. So he was like, "You still feel like it's invalidated?" I said, "No, not when you put it that way." Because I was technically playing higher ranked people because they're supposed to match make you against people in your elo. Long story short, he was like, "All right, let's just fucking." He was like, "All right, well, because what do you do now? Okay, you got gold, but let's keep grinding." So we went to solo duo, and then between Turpin and his brother Jeremy, shout out to Jeremy, that was my duo who I tagged, who has Twitter. We fucking just ran through. So I just got it a couple of nights ago, and I'm really excited about it. So now I'll get like all the rewards when the season ends in a couple of weeks. So like 3 weeks the season will end. So I'll get the border now for next season. I'll get some like
Oh,
I'll get a
you get the
skin. I'll
goodies. You
get
get the
like for
goodies.
actually finishing like in the gold
Hell
bracket
yeah.
and stuff. So I'm really excited about that. Like I said, I've
Good.
been playing that fucking game for 3 years. It is the most rewarding game, but it can be the most toxic and the most mind-numbing game
I
ever.
could
But
imagine.
it honestly, it's one of those games where it's like I feel like the more I play it, it to me, the best way I could explain it is kind of like chess. A lot of it, it's like you going through different scenarios and different things and making you think like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 moves ahead and stuff like that. That's how I feel with the game, and it kind of just always keeps my brain working that way. So that's just what That's why I really like seem to enjoy it and stuff. And plus, I like playing with like BJ and or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Turpin,
Yeah.
and you know what I mean.
We all got our. I mean, we all got our. This is not. There's nothing wrong with that. We all got our circles
Yeah.
of who we play with on certain games,
Yeah,
or
right.
even
It's
yeah,
specifically with certain games where it's
yeah.
like you have like a good like you know what I mean, like or it's just and you just vibe and you just click
You
out.
vibe. It is what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So like
So I
for
definitely
example, Back for Blood, I'll definitely be getting like Reborn. He's like 5 hit on that shit. Him and
yeah,
Sunder. So you definitely want to be there. Like just
exactly.
just shit like that. Call of Duty, Battlefield, whatever. You want to get your people there. So
Yep.
that's
So yeah,
definitely
so
understandable.
so that was a lot of fun. Other games I was playing. It's weird because like played a little bit of Tarkov. I was playing this new Tarkov I call it Space Tarkov. If you've been on Twitch at all, you might have seen Summit playing it, a few other people playing it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up the name real quick because I don't want to. It's called something having to do with cycles. I'm gonna pull up the name real quick so I don't
Yeah,
like
yeah. I mean, yeah.
confuse it. But it's basically it's Tarkov but space and a little more cartoony. Let me see. The Cycle. It's called The Cycle. It's
The
free to
cycle.
play. Yeah, you go. They have a play test going on
Oh no,
right now.
Reborn said it. The cycle.
The Cycle. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Reborn. The
I have
Cycle.
I have
That was
PC
fun.
residents in my chat. Nice,
Yeah,
nice,
no,
nice.
it's good. So I was playing a little bit of that. That was cool. Like it's free to play if you go and you register. They let you in there. It's quick. It's like Tarkov, but it's not as mind numbing. That. It's a little more just like you
I'm
get
down to play Tarkov though, man. I
but
am.
this is almost like a Tarkov that like I could see this being on console eventually. Like I
Yeah.
could see this actually coming to console.
Cycle.
Remember the Cycle? Remember when I
Okay.
told you about inputs and stuff? This is very like no, it's first person survival, drop you in, but there's not a lot of you got it's PvE, so there's like these animals and shit on this planet, and you gotta like the animals are dangerous. You gotta like kill the animals, and then
Yeah.
you farm from them. They have like materials that you could craft with, and then there's other players that run around and then you kill them and then you could loot them and stuff and then you have to extract when you drop down from like the space station onto the planet and then and there's no time limit, you
What
could
game
stay
was
there
like
as long
that?
as you want.
That you drop from space into like
There's
through
a few
like
games that had that, like Halo
remember
had
that? It
that
just
scene.
dropped you.
Remember Reach had that when you drop down into on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
planet.
yeah.
Halo at certain points had that where I guess you drop down. I know there's
It
probably
was an
one that
off
you remember
game that was
specifically.
supposed to be great, but ended up being not that good. It was like you
I
literally
can't recall
it was a multiplayer game you dropped into the map.
if
Uh,
chat remembers.
Chat probably
Maybe
remembers.
chat
I
could
know
help.
Reborn probably
Yeah,
remembers
yeah,
too.
yeah. So yeah, Tarkov Minecraft. So yeah, a little bit like that. Like with the crafting, what I like is that it has like a nice little system. Like there's different, um, not factories, but like different vendors, and then you could
Okay.
like do quests for them. But the quests are really straightforward. And then there's like a bunker that you go in and you could. They have like a cryptocurrency that you could mine. So you got to work up. You got to
Mm.
upgrade the generator to make more storage for yourself, and then you could mine more of the currency. The currency you use to buy items and stuff like that. But so I was actually that was a lot of fun too. Been playing a little bit of that, a little more Tarkov because it's the game that always continues to give. They added daily quests now, something that
So something that's gonna keep you coming back.
that maybe keep you coming back, like daily quests you can finish within 24 hours. Like, hey, load into the map and go kill, you know, if 8 real
X
people,
amount of
X amount, or like
whatever.
in
Yeah.
like PMCs or whatever, and then trade it in. So that was kind of keeping it fresh because technically, until the new map comes out, Streets of Tarkov, it's a little stale at this point right now. So people are just, but around the holidays, this is around the time anyway that they're going to reset shit. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
And then just looking forward to playing other stuff. I was playing Back for Blood. My thing is real quick. I like it, but it hasn't. It's not really grabbed me and pulling me to it as much as I thought it might. It's there, and I'm glad that it's there. And from what I played, I was still having fun with it. But I don't really have like a ooh, I want to go play this right now kind of thing. So I'm hoping that eventually I get to that. But
Okay.
um, but I'm
Okay.
really just excited. I'm fucking itching for Halo, dude. I'm like, give me it's Halo and Battlefield. Like,
I mean, I think this whole fucking chat and everybody in the goddamn gaming community with the Xbox side is waiting for those. Like they just do. It's wait. We're waiting. It's just we can't
yeah,
wait. It almost seems like so far away, man. Let's
yeah,
give a shout out to the
yeah,
chat because a lot
for
of
sure.
people are in here. Then I got a quick story to tell before we go into the actual topics of the day. I want to shout out Ink Studios in the chat. Early on came in. What's up? What's up? Get a yurt. Oh, he wanted me to go. Oh yeah, there you go. You got that.
No, you're.
Yeah, you got and the yurt, but he wanted me to say, oh yeah. So
Oh,
okay,
did he? Okay.
yeah, he did. It sounded weird for me.
I didn't read that one.
Yeah, you're never gonna get another 43-year-old saying that again. So there you go. You got who else? Let's see. Other Zinc. Oh my man. Thank you for showing up. Thank you
Hmm.
for coming. I appreciate that. Thank you for blessing us. Hopefully we do right with the show. Then we got let's see. Missing's in here. By the way, shout out to Missing. Thank you for the gift. I don't mean to blast her like this, but she gifted me, and I'm not gonna go further. But she gifted me a game, and I'm like, wow, this is okay. I'll
Oh, is
say
that
it.
where you all fucked up because you didn't get like no in like because she was coming at you in the chat?
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay?
Well,
Well, listen, truth is the truth.
she's introducing me to the Killing Floor too. So she
Nice,
gifted me that. I
very
I
nice.
woke up to that. Not woke up, but I got on my Xbox and I go. It said message from her. I'm like, oh, cool, because we always message. And
Yeah,
I saw that she gifted me. I'm like, oh shit! And I wrote a message,
nice,
a nice little quick message. So shout out to Missy, man. This is
very
thank
nice.
you, thank you, ma'am. I love that. Let's see who else. 100. Saw your show yesterday. You had other Zinc on there, and let me tell you, you guys, like always, 100% on the nose when it comes to facts. You guys are just on it all the time, and why I tune in every single Saturday. Appreciate that, guys. Keep that up. We have Reborn in the chat. He is gonna be my back for blood. Hope we get back on that Reborn. I really want to get back on that. And we have Craig Simmons. What's up, Craig? If I missed anybody, please,
You got
please,
dirt.
please say what's up. Did I get Dirt? Dirt was in here. See, I
Dirt's in
don't
here.
see
I
people. Oh,
highlighted
I
him.
see Dirt. My man, Dirt. Hey, Dirt. What up, baby? Another good podcast every Mondays. Oh, that guy, 6:30, WBG. Go watch
Word.
him. Pretty cool. And then I did. That's it. That's what everybody. Right? If I missed
Yeah,
anybody,
for now.
please, Matt. I didn't see Matt because I don't see him on this side. All right, Matt. He's also here. Shout out to Matt.
Also,
He's
real
been.
quick, if you're new, thank you for coming by and you're just not typing. That's fine. We don't expect everybody to
We
type
don't
and
expect
talk.
anybody to chat.
That's
Yeah.
perfectly fine too. We're live at 5. Obviously, last week, Sensei was sick, but it's okay. We're back now. And then Wednesdays, you get the audio. Somebody on Twitter today was asking, like, yo, you guys on Apple? And even my dad earlier today, he was like, oh, you got the pod leader on, right? He was like, yeah. He was like, oh, what are you guys talking about? And I told him, I ran down real quick. He was like, yo, you should think about uploading to other. I was like, Dad, we already do. He was like, wait, what? I was like, nah, Kills took care.
It's
I was like, Kills took care of that already. I was like, yo, we're there.
it's weird because
Crazy.
as much as if you guys follow me on Twitter, you know I'm one of those uber fucking active guys on Twitter. Like I will blow up your timeline to the point you mute me,
Yeah.
or you unfollow me, or you block me, whatever, which is cool. But I blow up the timeline with my contact. Hey, we're doing this, and I still get those. Oh, I didn't know you had a podcast. Oh, I didn't know you had a show. I didn't know you did Apple
Okay.
Music or Apple Pod or
You're on Apple Pod. You're on Google Pod. You're on Spotify. You're on
it's like I'm
Spotify.
on
You're on
fucking everything, bro. You're gonna see this
everywhere where
face
you
on
could basically
every fucking
consume
thing.
a podcast. You're there, and
There
you're not
goes
just doing this podcast as well. You have other content as well too.
other
So it's
content.
sick.
So check it out, man.
Eternal, real
This is where I
quick, shout
go.
out.
This is where I whore myself out. Hey, hit the like button,
Yep.
subscribe to the channel, share it
Like,
out.
subscribe. Giveaway still
Let
at
us know.
250 subs on YouTube.
Oh, right, 250. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna say it to the end. 250 subs on YouTube gets
Yep.
giveaways, two controller giveaways,
Yeah.
the Toon Squad controllers, the
Yep.
orange and blue and the purple. Those two controllers I'm giving away the moment I hit
Two
this
Xbox
channel hits
Series
250.
XS control. They're the new gen. They're the blue. They're Bluetooth capable as well too, so they'll work if you have Bluetooth on your laptop, on your phone. They'll work with your. If you're trying to do some cloud gaming, it works with your iPhone. It works with your Android device.
Let,
All of that,
yes.
dude. All of that, man.
Shout
All of
out
that.
to Umbra in the chat, man. I
Yes.
appreciate you coming in. That's my man. If I ever was to join a Twitter space, I would join his. That man keeps
There
the
you
peace
go.
in his Twitter spaces. He's a good man. And I did catch you on the pod yesterday morning. It was a little early for me to catch it live, but I did catch it on the replay. You did a phenomenal job there, man.
Nice.
And I thank you because I know Fonz is on right now. He has two fine gentlemen on the show right now, like big gentlemen. So and he's live now. So I appreciate you sharing your time with us, man. That's pretty. And the Jenna's in the chat. Okay,
Yeah,
so let's get.
yeah, I can't. If I could do an English accent, I would. Maybe I got to call my
I'm not doing
brother-in-law who's
that.
Scottish, but that's fine. Get your nan to follow people, or if you don't like your nan, do it with her details to kill her recommended on YouTube. Oh, okay. So like that's like remember what I do with you because I have your
Yeah,
login.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. So basically, log in, but don't like steal her information and stuff like that or her credit card information. But yeah, no, log in and do the nice thing and subscribe to us because I'm sure she would be excited to listen to two grown men talk about video games
Oh,
weekly.
first time. I think I'm assuming first time listener to our pod, Mr. V. You're
V.
not late. You're good. We are just still doing intro. We
We're
haven't
playing
even
catch
started
up.
the topic
We
yet.
missed a week, so we're playing a little catch up right now. We're
This
saying
is
hi
a
to
this is
everybody.
this is Excel show. It's gonna be a wow. It's just
Oh
Excel show.
yeah, not but still moderate. Don't scare anybody away. Now we're gonna
Go
keep on top, keep on
leave.
point. Yeah. No, because listen, lock the doors. Did you put the chains on yet? It's like
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
no. So no.
So
But yeah,
let,
Mr. V, thank you.
before we get to the topic, story time. So you guys know the Xbox headset, wireless headsets. They came out brand new. I have those beautiful headsets. But I had an issue with them last night. I thought they went bad. I'm going, oh god damn it! Am I gonna have to go to PlayStation?
Mm.
Anyways, but let me get these headsets here.
Hold on,
Okay,
did you say PlayStation? Wait a second.
so
Hold on, no, you said
the classic brick and
no.
mortar shit.
Wait, listen, real quick.
Yeah,
60
yeah,
gig
yeah.
backwards
Huh?
compatible.
Remember
This is
that?
the 60 gig
Remember the 60
fully
gig?
backwards compatible.
What was it 20 and 60? I think it was some bullshit like that.
60. Well, it depends because different ones had different. That's supposedly that's 100% backwards compatible.
Right. So let's just move on with that. So we have the Xbox
Why
headsets
hate?
that I'm
Don't hate on that. Listen, I'm gonna play a lot of good games on that eventually.
yeah, eventually when they get this shit right. So here's the Xbox headsets, right? Right. So it was not powering on last night. That shit scared me. I'm
I
going.
know. I saw your PSA on Twitter.
I had to because I know somebody out there. If not, I'm not the only one that went through this. It didn't power on at all. Like the little light. If you guys have this headset, there's a little light that shines right over here, like a white light when
Mm.
it's fully powered. It was shining on me, but it wouldn't. I was pressing the power button here. Fuck is that right there? I was pressing the power button to get it powered on. It would not turn on. I was freaking out. Luckily I have a backup wired headset that sounds like shit. So whatever. But I had that plugged in while I was trying to figure this out. Couldn't figure it
I
out
was
last
gonna say,
night.
how long did it take for you to figure out?
I couldn't figure it out last night. So
Okay.
today, when I woke up, I said, let me go ahead and do more research.
Yeah.
And I saw some guy that wrote which was the PSA I put there. Hold down the power button. So you're gonna hold down. If this ever happens, you hold down that green button here. Hold it down with the mute button. These two right here.
Mm.
Hold it down. Don't let it
Mhm.
go. You want to make sure that you have the USB-C plugged into the side when you're doing the holding of both buttons. Do not plug it into your Xbox or a Windows 10 PC. Not just yet. Hold those two buttons down. Then you plug in the USB to the laptop or Xbox. I did the laptop.
Mhm.
And immediately the things went, doo-doo-doo. It made the noise. I'm like, whoa.
Nice.
And it rebooted the whole thing. So it works again. So that was my story for today.
So it's
So
kind of
you guys,
a little factory reset kind of thing,
it was a
basically.
factory reset, pretty much.
Okay.
So if you guys run through that issue on your if you have your Xbox wireless headsets and you run through that issue with
we
does not
we
power
might
on,
clip this part of the pod real quick, and then we'll
just
also post
yeah.
do
I
a
even
little.
tweeted it on my thing. I'll probably
Yeah.
even I'll pin
You know
it
how
so
many people probably had the same thing, like because it took you a little bit. When you found the information, like how long did it specifically take you to find that information.
Well, the issue started happening last night, like around 8 o'clock, and
And
I
then when
found out
by the time when
today.
you started Googling and searching it, how long did it take you to find that information?
Took about 3 or 4 hours.
So, like, imagine if there was a YouTube video of somebody actually explaining with their physical headset on how to reset it.
I see where you're going with that. I'll find that person, see if there's a YouTube video out there.
Or just make it your fucking self, like you just did right now. Okay, we won't add this. We won't add this part. This part will be cut. It'll be exactly what you just said, and then there it is. And then we'll title it, and then thousands of views. Yay, channel.
Money made it. He's in the chat. All right, let's get to these topics. We have a huge amount of topics.
Do we have to?
On Battlefield, Back 4 Blood, Halo. I don't know. I think they
can't. We just continue shooting the shit. Like
we could. I think they like when we shoot the shit.
Yeah.
But, no. Yeah. I think, what do you guys chat? What do you guys think? Should we just keep shooting the shit or actually talk fucking games?
I was just kidding. I actually want to talk about the games.
You do too. Okay. So we have Battlefield, Back 4 Blood, Halo, GTA. We're gonna talk about all, but we're gonna first start off with Battlefield 2042. If you have been fans of this channel and I'm fucking freezing and lagging. I don't know why.
It's okay. We got you. We got
Battlefield 2042. 2042 is a game we've been anticipating for quite some time. They just released a new specialist trailer. This shows off new specialists, which I realize is happening because the way they have it set up, it's almost like Call of Duty where they have more specialists coming. And then they even gave us an update on some of the bugs the game had, the glitches. I'm gonna be honest here. When I played the beta, I only played maybe a few hours of it. I couldn't play anymore because there was a flashing artifact kind of thing going on the screen that was giving me headaches and just giving me dizziness. So I couldn't really play through.
Well, no, I mean, listen, there were people, I forget if it was our party, Money was one of the first people to say, remember when he was sitting inside the cockpit for, I think it was some of the vehicles, and then even in the tank, and he said it was having that weird shaking thing. I was like, oh, what are you talking about? Like vehicle shake, like it was some visual bug that they had going on that basically was just, which they do. Right, exactly. This is, and we're not going to get into the whole fucking, listen, okay. Everybody's still on that whole thing like, oh, look at all the excuses they used, and they're saying that the build was like 3 months old. Like, listen, when the fucking game comes out, if it's still running like shit, we're going to let you know, and then that's when, go ahead, talk all your shit. But until then, let's get the game, okay?
When the game comes out, if it's still broken, then and I'll
then continue to bitch all you want because
shit out of it.
Because there's a lot of people a lot of people out there that are just like, nah, this game's gonna launch fucked up. There's gonna be bugs. There's no way they could fix all of this in the time that they had. That's fine. Have all those opinions when the game launches.
Well, here's my question:
if it has those problems,
if it does come out broken, are we gonna support this game like any favorite game you have in your life? Because we've all got our favorite games that we support through the shit. Like through the mountains and fucking valleys.
Imagine how diehard Fallout people felt when Fallout 76 launched.
Right. So I mean, yeah, and the diehard fans still got. They still.
What game was this from, by the way, too? That you could like hack things? Wasn't this like a Ghost game and thing? I mean, other games that technically Call of Duty did it. Or I was going to say,
yeah.
Well, remember you used to be able to hack the care packages. There was a perk that let you. Yeah. There was a perk that let you hack care packages. So when somebody hit it, it was like booby trap. And so you stole it and then you booby trapped it for some. Was it a Black Ops 2, I think, or something that started that shit?
One of those games, Ghost, maybe.
Yeah.
Ghost.
But this legitimately, like, so that was cool. And I just real quick, so we'll break this down real quick. This specialist here, he hacked in the map. He hacked the little stand basically that controlled this. That controlled the freaking
the barricade,
and then he let his person go through and then set it up where they timed it. It was probably edited and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's all time shit.
If you do that in a game, imagine if you do it on like there's a vehicle coming up and the barrier comes up like as it's there and like you send that shit flying. This one,
instant.
What was this guy? Oh yeah, right here.
So. With the specialists, they introduced new specialists. We spoke about this in our chats and everything. Even me and your brother did.
Yeah, look at this. This is interesting.
I don't think I'm gonna be honest with you, Logic.
Carry a shield that protects from incoming projectials. Okay, I get that.
I don't think the reflecting projectile fits in a Battlefield game.
No shot.
Sorry.
You can't like.
It's gonna get nerfed.
If you try to explain to me, no, it's because they're so close. Like you're gonna say like the ricochet.
Bro, look how far that dude is, and got shot from the bullets from the shield.
That's not that far. That's like 7. If you were being realistic, like if you think about it.
Look at that.
That's not that far.
Come on, that though, like bullets jumping back at you to kill you. That far.
Right, but that's what I mean. But in the acting, it's not like you're. listen, this isn't like Star Wars with fucking lightsabers where you send back, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, where you're, or even in the Jedi, what was it? Jedi,
Battlefront.
no, Fallen Order.
Oh, Fallen
Even
Order.
in
Yeah.
the
Oh,
last
yeah.
one that came out, where you could send back, you could reflect
Mm-hmm.
all of that shit. You know what I mean? This is ridiculous. Like
Yeah,
in
this is
that,
this is literally Battlefront. They're taking shit from Battlefront, Star Wars, all that. They
I mean,
look.
it is it's post futuristic sort of kind
It's
of,
cool. It's cool.
right.
I'm not one to complain. I get it. We want change in games, and then we get them. We start bitching about them. I get it, but it just too much Call of Duty for me right now. Like the
Eh,
shield, and then you got the other specials we haven't even spoke about, which hacks through fucking walls and puts a big old red line on you so you can see where they're at. It's like, huh? Are we really doing this right now? By the way,
eh.
that's the operator I'm using until they fucking nerf it.
Oh
But
no, this. Hold on, because it's not pausing. I got to go back real quick because this might have been the dopest thing. Like for somebody to pull this off, I got to start from the beginning. Okay, cool. Jet flies by. The fact that this
mm,
person angled it to fly through the
mm,
build. This. Okay, the glass got
again, scripted.
opened.
Again,
I wonder
scripted.
if you can break through the glass or if the glass has to be shot out. Like if you could
No,
just
I'm
like
pretty
tumble,
sure. I mean, if you have to shoot the glass before
which
that's crazy
that's
because
kind of crazy
the
because that's
impact
on
is
some like hey remember Halo 5 the cutscene where they're shooting the
yeah,
glass inside. So that was
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of crazy. But look, even this wingsuit, pop it out, slide. Okay, come on.
Is this map? This is a map from BF4. It looks like a. It looks
It's
that
not. No. Remember, these are
that
all the.
building though. That building reminds me of BF4. Like that building right there.
Yeah. Well, this is that's the
What's that
desert map.
dam? Is it called dam?
Well, not.
Where they had the
Yeah,
office building to the
yeah.
right?
No, well, they could have used certain models and things like
Yeah.
that and just updated it.
So you telling me they're recycling shit now?
I don't know, dude. I'm not going to make any type of assumptions. I'm just going to be like, listen, they working with what they got. Here's what people were really like. My brother does not like this at all.
See
At
this is what I'm
all.
saying. This right here.
This,
I'm
yeah, with
gonna
the
play with this
ability, when she
specialist
puts the
until they
ability on,
nerf the
this is
shit out of this.
crazy. I pinged 1, 2, 3. Look at this. Automatic shoddy.
It's crazy. It's
Look at
crazy.
this. And they stay highlighted for a while too, and as you turn, that it marks them. That's fucking nuts.
They need to make it an impulse thing where impulses and goes away, not something that sticks on the enemy because
I couldn't get live marking to fucking work, and you telling me that there's a
right. I can't ping right.
I couldn't ping properly, but you're telling me there's a fucking operator that can literally see through walls, and it
But here's the thing.
maintains.
I'm assuming it's only that operator that sees that though, right? Not the team sees this because and that'll be
No,
way
right,
too.
that's what I'm saying. But then imagine if you're able to see it, and then you could ping. I mean, I'm sure you're able to. Then just
Plus,
ping the
yeah,
area
ping, yeah,
and then where they're
yeah.
at, right?
But
So
I'm using that specialist until they freaking nerf it because
this
I'm gonna
one
be
here,
honest,
trauma. This
these
is a
specialists
trauma
they shown
specialist.
are
This
broken.
person.
They're broken. I'm not a big specialist fan. I mean, Call of Duty was okay because they're small maps and all that stuff, but
Yeah.
I'm Battlefield. I just don't think the specialist theme works. I don't know. That's just me. And then you have this guy throwing down a care package again. More Call of Duty moments. Like it's like, what are we doing now? But I
Well, look,
think this,
the swapping of the in mid instead of having to go back in and redeploy, because that was the thing. You call in a drop basically. It's like a loadout. And why is this going to make sense? Because you have to remember too. We're still thinking about this in the concept of like conquest.
yeah,
This
this
remember
would be for
Hazard
Hazard Zone. This would be great.
Hazard Zone. This is going to be something where it's like if they're marketing that as somewhat type of a survival kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like imagine having a way that you have a person that could throw a loadout
yeah.
where you could change your loadout. You get your load in with one
Well, that's what I'm saying.
objective.
This would be great for Hazard Zone. It'll be.
That's
I
what I
mean,
mean. So that's why in totality, it's probably like, oh hey, there's certain some of these classes are going to work well here just in general, but then some of these classes it feels like it was designed with other game modes and other game types
yeah,
in mind.
yeah.
You know, so
So
that
I
was the other
mean,
thing. It looks cool.
it's I wasn't expecting this trailer when it came out, but
No,
I woke up to it, I saw like, oh shit, a new trailer, and they introduced what I was more happy for is that they talked about that a lot of the issues that we're having during beta
yeah,
squad, like like even the visual effects. My biggest issue was the not knowing distinguishing who's who, like who's enemy, who's
yeah,
friendly. They said they fixed that. It's squash. You're gonna be able to know who it is. Also, the UI was always in the it was too much. There was too much overlay on the screen on the UI screen. They kind of minimized the top bar. They gave you a compass in the bottom. The little side visuals are now smaller. You don't have to worry about it being in your face. Because I like a clean look. I'm
Yeah.
used to playing hardcore modes a lot, especially on Call of Duty. So I like the
They should
clean
give
look.
you those options. Those options should be in there
Yeah,
where you can minimize your HUD. I mean, I think the things that are necessity should be there and stuff like that. But it's the same thing like in Tarkov, you could take off like I hate to keep on referring back to Tarkov, but it's another game where it's like they let you
yeah,
completely remove the HUD, where it's just you and the web, and then the only thing that pops up sometimes, like when you go to check your magazine, then depending on what level you have that ranked up, it tells you, oh no, you have about 50 bullets left, or oh no, you got about half a magazine left, like where it's like a guessing game where it's like you physically look, or you could remove the magazine and you could say by visually inspecting the round you know what type of ammo you have loaded. Is it armor penetration ammo? Is it just like high flesh? You know what I
just
mean, like
hype.
shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, so
I mean, that's. I'm still excited for Battlefield 2042, man. It
mhm.
comes out what, November 19th, but if you get the
November 19th,
Ultimate
if
Edition,
it's
you get the
pre-ordered.
gold or whatever anything above vanilla, you get a
Yeah.
week access to it, a week
Wait,
earlier access
on the 12th,
on the 12th. So that's what I'm
which is
gearing
not
towards that.
far from here, by the way.
It's
We're
not. We're already finishing. Man, Halloween's next week. We're
Halloween's next
dressing
week.
up for the pod. We're dressing up. Chat. Let us know.
Okay.
That'll be a question for you guys. You want us to dress up for next week's
I,
pod?
don't put that on them
Yeah.
because majority of them are gonna say fucking yes, and then I got to worry about actually. I was about to say what I dress up as, but I don't want to say it because I don't feel like getting canceled. So I'm just gonna shut the fuck up, and then hopefully you move on to the next topic.
Before we move on to the next topic, I might have you set up the video I want to explain here because it is Battlefield related.
Are we? I
So
was gonna say, are we?
yeah, just play. It's a quick 11-second video. I want you guys to see the beginnings of
Oh yeah,
Sensei
yeah, yeah.
being a content creator. Don't laugh, but I'm giving you an exclusive look
I think
at.
this comes with audio too. So for
It
those
does come with
listening,
audio.
you might
I'm gonna
have to
give you an
refer back to the
exclusive look
YouTube.
of what I did
Yeah.
when I started thinking about content creating. This is an early career, man. So check it out.
All right, Reborn. I'm not. Listen, Reborn. Don't. Okay, don't. Did you see what Reborn said? Look at Reborn.
Yeah, I want that. Oh.
He's fucking. Maybe what's his name? The mask guy. Maybe.
Yeah, you
Like
want to see Logic v Sailor Moon?
no, it's what's the boy? What's the guy that she liked? The one that was the mask.
I don't watch Sailor Moon, so I don't know.
I hate you. Whatever. Nobody understands it.
I know
All right, I'm
of
playing the
Sailor
video.
Moon. Don't
No,
watch
I'm
it.
playing the video. All right.
Good.
What's up, Xbox World? This is Unit Mr. Kills coming to you live and recording a little clip here about how campers die when they camp on me and try to shoot me from the roof. You can see the guy had a radar up. Oh, there he is. And goodbye. Later.
As you can see,
How funny would that have been if that was Nick? If we actually looked up that name,
look,
wouldn't that been the ultimate like 6 degrees of separation? Like it was destiny. It was meant to be. If
it
that
was
was
meant to
actually
be.
Nick that you were taking the tags from, and you were already recording media about it, and then
Right.
full circle, 2021. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so that was this is why I miss Upload Studio. I miss the Connect. These two things working hand in hand was something that Xbox needs to bring this back some way, somehow. We need a suite of, editing tools in our Xbox. Man, I enjoy when we had that. I was just, as you can see, I was into that, man. I did a lot more of those things, but I just thought it was great because with the whole Battlefield coming out and we talked about 2042 that I would show that clip. Plus me and Nick having this banter going back and forth on Twitter world about who's taking whose tag when this game comes out. Shout out to Red Bull. We're not sponsored, but shout out to Red Bull. I see Logic.
Between the Sailor Moon fucking jokes now and then like
no, it's Sailor Logic.
Yeah, all right, that's fine. Whatever, we'll figure something out. Somebody needs to tell me the name before because
look, Ink said dress up as each other.
No, who had the couples one too? Who thought that
I would
was
like
fucking
to see
funny
Logic shave
and
his
then
head.
did the couples one? I am gonna shave my head. That's no secret. I'm working on getting a fucking mole.
I'll get a wig or something. I'll get something. Okay, so moving on to the next topic. What's our next topic, Logic?
Oh, I gotta introduce it. That's fine.
Our next topic.
Back for Blood. Developer speaks on the importance of Game Pass.
Yes.
So where was this? Because I didn't actually see this article.
Google it. That's what they always tell me. The kids, they say Google it. You got Google, or at least my kids. But the developer had a one-on-one sit-down interview with I forgot what magazine was it, and they spoke about like questions were asked, and they would as always it was asking questions, and one of the questions was the importance of Game Pass, and this developer broke it down, and he mentioned how Game Pass was like it was
Was this
early
with
on.
Dexerto from like 2
Yes.
weeks ago?
Yeah. And he said early on in the development of this game, when they throw the spaghetti on the wall to see what sticks, the
Yeah.
creative board, that's the first. It's Game Pass. It has to be introduced to Game Pass because the exposure has to be there. They've been gone for quite some time, and if we all remember, their last game was what?
So
Evolve.
right. So right, which we all know how that fucking went.
That
But
went bad.
but let me ask you then. So you're trying to tell me that they went in to this game being like, oh no, it's Game Pass all the fucking way because
Yeah.
we want as many people and as
We
many
want
eyes.
exposure. Well, it wasn't. We needed. It
We don't need it, but were they going in?
How do we get it
Right.
exposed? Game Pass.
Game Pass.
Yeah. So
Okay.
they have that. I guess they have that relationship with Phil, and they had that conversation. But putting this on Game Pass was vital to their success.
Right.
And this game is very successful now. Yes, is coming off the spiritual successor, which is Left 4 Dead, but because it's that this developer created Evolve, and it left a bad taste in the mouth of 4v1, gameplay where they even try to make it free to play, and it was just riddled with microtransactions that killed it from the beginning. Yeah. Some of us still played. I think Reborn was playing it. He enjoyed it. But at the end of the day, it was still a microtransaction game that was riddled with just bugs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it left a taste in people's mouth. So when they introduced, hey, Turtle Rock is back, not many people researched it. They didn't realize, Turtle Rock is now an independent studio. They're no longer with Warner Brothers or with Valve or whoever they were in the past. Because
Warner Brothers published this. Warner Brothers Games published Back 4 Blood.
Well, Back 4 Blood, yeah, and they published this. They published Evolve.
Oh, okay. They did publish Evolve.
They did both, but they still in
they're not
in the sense of they're not tapping into somebody's big budget. And they knew this going in. They go, you know what? We're gonna make this game. What can we do to come back and reintroduce ourselves and gain that back? And they said, fuck it, let's do another like a Left 4 Dead Spiritual 6, like something Spiritual 6 to that. And they came out with Back 4 Blood.
Yeah.
And the card system was built and all that, but the fact that they spoke about how important Game Pass is in this day and age, because we still got a lot of naysayers. We still got a lot of people that don't think Game Pass is a thing. No. That it's killing games. It's not.
Okay. How about Rockstar being one of the biggest developers? And I want to throw this in here, and we're going to get to it. I might be jumping the gun a little bit, but I'll just say it because it technically has to do with this conversation. Rockstar coming out when they announced GTA Trilogy remastered. Not only, we know that Sony's getting, GTA 3 on PS Now service in December, but we're getting San Andreas on Game Pass.
Day one.
Day and date. So November 11th, when it comes out, you could $60, get the whole fucking thing, or you get San Andreas for free. And my assumption is, and this is just, it might be a radical assumption, but my assumption is that they will rotate the other two games.
We spoke about that, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, just does Rockstar need to have San Andreas on Game Pass?
No, it's fucking Rockstar.
Right.
But they like money.
They don't exactly.
But they like money.
Right. So we already know, and then you think that Rockstar didn't get a good deal from Microsoft? Like, so that whole narrative of like developers don't get paid and all of that bullshit.
The shot. So
you know what I mean? So and we already see how much of a success Shroud. Shroud came out. Did you see the Shroud clip? And I don't want to cut you up, but I wanted to tell you real quick. There's literally a Shroud clip that came out. It was like, you know what? He goes, and I don't know if it was like an ad because it felt like one of those like hashtag ad because it did because it almost felt spur of the moment. But he was playing it. He was like, I love Game Pass. He was like, this is perfect. I didn't have to. People that are playing this game now, every time you hear it, like they're saying, especially if they're playing on PC or Xbox, they'll tell you, I didn't have to pay for this fucking game because I was already paying for this service.
It sounds like an ad because it's too good to be true, and we're always told something's too good to be true. We tend not to believe it. Put on your brakes, pump it, and let's research it first. But with Game Pass, the hype is real.
Yeah.
There's no fakeness of it. $10, $15, you get a subscription, and you're going to be playing AAA titles, AA titles, indie games from day one.
Turpin's playing Scarlet Nexus right now. Scarlet Nexus, that's a big RPG, big time RPG that was only a few months ago released brand new for $60.
It's on PC now, right? Game Pass PC?
Game Pass PC, and Game Pass on Xbox. Like this is a AAA. This is technically a AAA.
I get excited when I see developers kind of like come out and say, "Hey, this is what Game Pass did."
Being vocal about it, not just being like, vocal. "Oh, hey, right, we're doing it." It's like, no, this is one of the bigger studios that are coming out and saying like, "No, we went in to this saying, "Oh no, we're going to be on Game Pass because
We're
we
just this is it.
understand."
It's part of the plan.
We understand how many people are going to see it, even if you're just, and that's another thing too. It's like people, say it's like, okay, you load on your screen. Remember when Back 4 Blood launched? It's like that's what
Yeah.
you saw on your screen. Like you couldn't. It's like, oh, what's this? Oh, it's a zombie game. Oh, look, Halloween. Oh, let me play it. Even if you don't know
Perfect
shit
timing,
about
too.
Left 4 Dead, even if you knew nothing about Left 4 Dead, how many people clicked on this, checked out the trailer, and then said, oh, I'll give it a try? Why? Because they didn't have to pay for it.
They have to pay for it.
It was already included in the service
Let
that
me
they
tell you
had.
how powerful how powerful Game Pass is and how it changes narratives. I remember when this game, I even posted a screenshot of it. When you first start up the game, it says it records your conversations, right? When I first saw this pop up, I'm like, oh shit, it records conversations. This is not something, I don't know. But you can't, there's no other option. You have to choose it or you don't, and you don't play it. To play the game, you have to say yes to this, right? And then I started doing research. I'm like, oh, it records in-game chat, not the party chat, in-game chat. You have to mute yourself either way.
We talked about it right before it launched because there was everybody was like, ooh, Big Brother. It was like, no, because we already see other game developers and other people, Riot Games with League of Legends, they're disabling all chat. Why? Because people just can't, they don't have anything fucking nice to say sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get people that just join a party.
You're the one that told me, though. You're the one that told me, because I brought it up to you, the concern I brought it to you. You told me, well, how many times have you been reported for communications? I think it was either you or your brother. How many times have you been reported for communications and they ban you because whatever, somebody said something to them,
and it was how about the times that it was bullshit? At least now you could go back where somebody tries to report you, they literally have the files.
Yeah,
and
now
they can say, and they can pull it and be like, what happened? So and in the game, and I already understand. We understand why a game like Back 4 Blood needs voice comms and things like that, and really fosters that whole. It's not a game that's really meant for the single player. You can go in and play it single player, but it's not that type of game. So the least they could do, which there's not a lot of other people doing.
In the chat.
Yep.
See them in the chat.
The least that they could do is say, hey, at least we're monitoring it. You got to agree to it. That's fine, but at least we're monitoring it, and we're going to be on top of it.
I wish they would have come out with a message and said something, because they radio silence on it. Like
no, they did, but they did originally. But this was news before. This was news before it came out. This was no news. And when you first start up the game, you get the notification.
Yeah.
You're told, like, hey, listen, your voice comms are being monitored. You could turn off your mic completely.
You know how my mind works. This is when I see the rage, in the gaming world, and I see the rage about things like this. My mind goes directly to, let's see how long this rage lasts, and are you going to play it? And a lot of people that are raging are sharing screenshots, videos, having fun, laughing in their clips.
Yeah.
I'm going, so how bad was that for you that you are still having fun with the game? Like, it's not, guys, this is not going to take your voice and fucking sell it to, like, out of the black market. Like, we're
people
not that
already
expensive.
listen. Relax. People are already unlocking their phones with their faces and their fingerprints.
Right.
So we can be a little.
If you have an iPhone, you can literally unlock your phone.
Like how you log into a lot of these people are using the same passwords for their banking applications that they use for their fucking Facebook login.
You wouldn't be using your smartphone right now because those are things that smartphones do.
Not
how many
to say that you
download that app?
And not to say that you shouldn't have concerns. And I don't want to try to spread any false equivalency to try to be like, security and things, because I could understand how you might be a little skeptical. It's the same reason when you have a camera, you set up a fucking web camera, and the only thing that I know, and the only reason that I know besides the fact of me looking at another screen and saying, oh, I'm fucking live right now, and the fact that I know I'm broadcasting, is that I got these two little fucking blue lights that go on each side of the camera that tell me, oh, it's live. And then besides that, but then it's like, then you hear about all this shit. You get real paranoid with it, and Eric Snowden and tell you, and then you see movies like that, and then they say, no, your fucking camera's always working. Your voice recording, how do you think? And you can get real paranoid with it. We were talking about, like, I forgot where we were just talking. Or you start talking about something like an ad, or you don't search it or whatever. Next thing you know, you go on Facebook or you go on Twitter or whatever, and you see the fucking ad for it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, wait, was my phone just listening to me? What the fuck?
That happens every time.
But you know what I mean? So it's like
about anything, and then you're like, wait. How did Google find that?
If they're handling it properly and they're recording, because that's the other fucked up thing is, as long as nobody's using the voice comms to fucking plan some stupid crazy shit, you know what I mean? Because that's the only other adverse part that you hear about it. Like you used to hear back in the day, like people using video games to fucking plan attacks, terrorist attacks and shit like that.
Yeah.
That's like real Big Brother shit. Like, you know what I mean? That used to happen. But, and not to get too heavy or too crazy with people, but it's like, you shouldn't be concerned about this as a gamer. Like, you really shouldn't. No, as long as you're being above board and you could still like your friends and stuff like that. It's only if somebody, like, if you're just bullshitting with your friends and you say something that might be offhand it might be considered offhand. They're not taking what you fucking said and posting it and be like, see? Like, they're not going to expose you or anything like that. As long as you're not getting reported by anybody, you don't make a comment to somebody else, you're fine.
You're
like,
fine.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't have anything to worry about.
It's again, it's when I go, what's real and what's not when it comes to these complaints, because nowadays everybody has a complaint for everything. Everybody wants to feel,
which is fine, and it doesn't mean that the complaint isn't and it doesn't mean that the complaint isn't valid. It's fine to have concerns and stuff like that, but but at least understand that it was addressed. But they might be able to do a better job in addressing those type of concerns if it was there. But I haven't really heard too much about it personally.
Facts, there. If Mark Zuckerberg, if he's putting a fucking tape over his camera,
or he claims that he does at least. But then again, this guy's also responsible for what, over 1.2 billion fucking users.
Well, we're gonna be calling it My Facebook next week or some shit because he's
whatever. Oh yeah, they changed the name to it. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Anybody want to talk about how weird it was that it went offline for a bunch of hours and came back right when their whole inquisition is happening?
I was going to say they were being investigated by the federal government, and then just so happened that their servers went down. Oh no, it was a fuck up in the code. Somebody fucked up.
Yeah,
in the code.
Somebody deleted codes. Right. Okay.
Yeah, somebody deleted code that they weren't supposed to delete on a server, and it just so happened to fuck up everything. Not just Facebook, because it's all linked now. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. Yeah. What was it again? Say that again, please.
WhatsApp. I'm Puerto Rican. WhatsApp. I'm Puerto Rican.
You wascally wabbit.
Boricua in the house. I'm Boricua.
Is that we're blaming it on Hispanic heritage now?
We'll blame it on the Latin culture of my parents not teaching me proper goddamn English.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, she loves me. She says that every damn week, so it's all good. She doesn't watch the show, so my mom supports.
Any closing topics on Back 4 Blood?
No, man. Back 4 Blood is the game that I've been playing. It's in my heavy rotation right now until our Battlefield and Halo come out. But I believe it'll still be on rotation because it's not a first-person shooter, so it'll still be there. I'm just looking forward to get back on it. Hopefully, we get back on it soon. Yeah. With the rotation we have, Reborn, Money, and Sunda. And I want to play that golfing game too. So, but I got nothing else. Chat, you got anything else about Stubbs? What's up? Anything?
Kima's in here too. Oh, hold on. You come
lagging.
You back? Oh no, you back. You back.
Every time I click a button, this is bullshit.
Stop fucking clicking buttons.
Well, I'm trying to shout out the chat, bro. Look, Mr. Kima.
I'm missing. Get rid of the cards. That's it. And I said before, I said maybe they introduce a mode that doesn't have cards. Maybe they go like a no card mode or something like that. You like the cards? Missing doesn't like the cards. I'm indifferent. I'm indifferent to it.
Missing, you don't like the cards?
Not a fan of the cards.
That's the magic of the game. We gotta get her in. We gotta get her in. She has
maybe not in her experience. Not a fan of the cards.
That's because she has.
How much diversity really is in the cards when more times than not, what do you fucking pick? And every time there's a card.
That's beside the point.
No. What's besides the point? What were you gonna say? No. What were you gonna say? What's the number one fucking picked card? Every time you're in a run.
If you're playing veteran, because you can shoot each other, you want to put down in front. Because that card will allow you to crouch, and the bullets of your friendlies will not do nothing to you.
That or stamina, because you could never have enough fucking stamina. But that's what I'm saying though. So then, what's the point? Just give everybody just put a mode where everybody gets a bunch of fucking stamina, and then make everything hard. Like, I don't know, dude.
That's because you can pre-build that. You can do a custom build and not have to worry about every time you play with them. That's because they haven't pre-built. They don't have their custom cards. Like, they're not Back 4 Blood players. You gotta play with us. They're not Back 4 Blood players. That's all it is.
Keep it simple, like Left 4 Dead. See, some people just like simplicity. Some people don't want all the crazy shit. Some people just want simplicity.
I gotta go my boy Reborn.
Perfectly fine. That's okay. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Everybody would enjoy the game.
You're killing me right now, bro.
Back 4 Blood was a big disappointment.
Don't let me unsub to your channel, man. That's fucked up.
Hey, move along to the next topic before you lose more friends.
We're gonna move along. All right. Next thing we're gonna talk about is Halo. Halo, because we just can't stop talking about Halo. Hey, did I put it up? Oops, I went here and Halo.
Oops, you did it again.
We cannot stop talking about Halo. It is going to be.
All right. And this is why I brought this out too. Kind of.
The shiny headpiece.
Shine like diamond in the sky.
Diamond in the sky. Well, it's so clean, man. I was telling you before we went live. And he has number 4,308 for those wondering. That's what the number's on that. Anybody check and let us know. We try to research
that I never realized. Go ahead, continue.
No, I was saying we were trying to research this. Anybody check and let us know how many of these were made. Can anybody find that out?
I wanted to look that up, but sealed. Sorry
for the light. Halo 3 copy.
Sealed Halo 3.
You say you're gonna do what with that?
I want to send this for certification because it still has the wrapper on it. This from 2007, mind you. I can tell you the story real quick since we're going to
Oh, tell the story.
I'll actually tell you the story real quick. So at the GameStop, funny enough, where Money's fully aware of this, at 174th Street in the Bronx, there was the GameStop that my dad used to work at, but this was after my dad had moved on from GameStop. They did the midnight launch. And I had just moved back to the city from high school. I literally just graduated high school that June. So this came out, it was like November or something like that, right?
Product placement, my bad. Go ahead, keep talking.
Oh my God, you're not even sponsored.
No, it's product placement.
For something that you're not even sponsored.
Sorry. All right.
It's like me with the fucking Red Bull. Go ahead, but keep it going. Maybe one day. Somebody hashtag it.
One day, maybe?
One day. Hashtag. Anyways, real quick.
Yeah, go.
So midnight launch. So I'm there. I'm 18. Just moved back to the city and stuff like that. Going to college, whatever. Do the midnight launch. I'm standing outside. You understand 174th Street in the Bronx. Where I am. They see me. They see my complexion. Young, 18-year-old kid. I'm hanging out with everybody else. Okay, understand reading. Everybody's reading the room there. They're doing giveaways. I'm answering all the fucking questions. They did a questionnaire. So like, oh, you could win a cup holder and an action figure toy. I got all that shit. Todd McFarlane toy, all of that shit. Because they did trivia questions and I was answering all the fucking questions right about Halo. Because I was like the fucking nerd of the group too. And everybody else is there just like, shut the fuck up, 12 o'clock, like, give me my Halo.
Yeah.
So I get this. I'm like, it ended up being like, I think I was like first or second in line. So I get my Legendary Edition. There was literally people waiting. They were like, well, how are you getting home? Because I didn't live close to where the GameStop was. I lived a couple of train stops away on the 2. It was like, I had to take the 2 to the 5. So, New York City story, by the way, guys. So bear with us. So I was going to hop on the train at 12:30 at night on the
New York
2.
Chronicles.
In 2007, I was going to hop on the 2 train with my brand new Legendary Edition.
No, you was not.
Yes, I fucking was. And then somebody said, because I just dropped the money too. I just dropped like, what was this, $150
like
at the
time? I think at the time,
something like, so, I mean, I might have had cash on me or whatever like that. Actually, I had cash on me. They were like, nah, you're not getting on the train. I was like, what do you mean? Like, people there were legitimately concerned for my health. And they were like, nah, you're not getting on the train. I said, yeah, I'm getting on the fucking train. How else am I getting? They were like, nah, calling. They literally called a cab for me. And they made sure like I had the money to get home because they didn't want me taking the train home with this because they were worried about my safety. So shout out to those people on the line at GameStop at 174th Street looking out for my well-being and my welfare. Okay, but
GameStop stories. Gotta love those stories, man. But yeah, if you know anything about living in the Bronx, man, especially that area, woof. If you had something like that and you're walking around trying to get a train at midnight, I mean, it's bad during the day. I can only imagine what it was at midnight. Because anybody who knows gaming automatically knows, oh, this motherfucker got money. Okay, let's do. And back then, it wasn't like now where debit cards are rampant. All you have is the plastic on you. Back then, you had plastic and cash. You had both.
Cash. Yeah, you had the plastic, but a lot of times too, you carried cash and stuff. So yeah, that was my quick Halo 3 midnight launch story.
That was your Halo 3? No, but you really should get that certified or looked at.
I'm gonna get that sealed. I'm gonna get that fucking sent out and certified for sure because I don't see myself ever selling it, or if I ever would, I'm gonna get it because the wrapping on it looks like official and shit. So
this topic is about Halo, but it's PC. As you guys know, if you guys been following me, I don't do PC. I don't have a PC. I don't pretend to speak on something I don't know. This is why Logic is the best co-host in co-host podcast history. He's PC guy, so he can talk a little bit about what's going on. I did see ray tracing not at launch, and of course we get they should delay the game because it doesn't have my favorite ray trace. You didn't know what the fuck ray tracing was till Xbox Series X came out. But go ahead and I digress, and you go ahead and continue that conversation.
So this kind of just, and we don't have to like harp on this and spend too much time on this, but in a nutshell, one, by the way, two, how about that intro? So by the way, guys, if you don't know this, when you boot up Halo on your Xbox or PC of choice, that's what you're seeing for the first time.
Dope.
I don't have the volume on just in case for like fucking trademark or whatever like that. I don't want to get like hit or in trouble or anything. So, but it's going to be cool. So yeah, so in a nutshell, they kind of just broke out, and it's just more of what we've been talking about. The game is being designed for PC from the fucking ground up. Yeah. And they're making sure that they're listening to the PC community. They're not neglecting the Xbox community, because we've already seen this. The technical play test at this point right now, from what we understand, the game runs better on an Xbox Series X than it does on a PC at this current point. But this is more or less just a way to say, hey, listen, for those people that are on PC, if you're excited about it because of things like Game Pass, like, they can't neglect the PC consumer anymore, especially when you're talking about a multiplayer that's going to be free to play as well too. And technically, the game, if you have Game Pass, this is another reason why you would subscribe to Game Pass, because you could have access to both the single player and the multiplayer day and date as well too. But even stuff like this, graphic settings, it picking up the monitor, they're using an LD HDR 4K monitor. PC settings, they actually have a resolution scale. For those that don't have, I understand it might sound gibberish and stuff, resolution scale is one of the best tools a game can ever implement. Real quick, you could, so that's, they're setting it up for 4K. Let's say, like, you don't have a computer that can necessarily handle 4K, you just drive that bitch down a little bit. And I'm telling, and it's going to look like you could set it, you could be on a 4K monitor and still set this to 2K. You're going to notice a difference. It's going to look different, but everything's still going to fill out the same way. And the game would probably run a lot smoother if your PC's not up to scuff and can handle it, basically. This is just to make sure that the game is...
This is virtual RAM. This is not using...
It's not necessarily that it's virtual RAM. This is just a...
RAM.
Well, this is just a tool. Well, just that specifically, the resolution scale, it has a lot to do with the graphics card that you have inside of your PC.
Nice.
So it's essentially, if you don't have like a big beefy graphics card, you don't have to play this at a crazy resolution. This is just so if you're having problems or issues running it at higher resolution scales, you can dumb it down a little bit and then be able to still get high frame rates, and and still keep somewhat of a good quality and stuff like that. That's what I do with Destiny right now. When I play Destiny on PC, I don't play it 100% at 2K. I dumb it down a little bit. I play like 85%.
Guys,
yeah, I think this one.
Look at the beauty of this game. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this video too. I have it. It's at 1440.
Like, if at this point you're still talking down on this game, you need to go fucking touch grass. That's crazy. It's crazy.
It's really cool to see, like, obviously certain, like, single player stuff. That's an ultra wide. This is when they were kind of beefing up the ultra wide stuff.
The ultra wide is fucking amazing. So, they didn't just put it on an ultra wide screen. They literally had to rework that, right?
Yeah, they had to make sure that everything, like the HUD, this is the big thing where they talk about, like, hey, you know that the game is going to be designed like 16:9 for all your monitors and like for all your TVs and stuff, and that's what it's going to be run on. But now can you just zoom it out a little bit? And when you zoom it out, you got to make sure that everything looks good and in frame. You can't cheap out on other shit. Like, maybe you didn't design something right, no, you can't do that. Everything's got to look good, because people that have those widescreens are going to be able to see everything.
You're talking about, but and then they even about the mini HUD, meaning like you can move
right here. Well, that's what this part is. So the cool thing about it was that same thing. You could move the HUD. You could make it tighter. That's another thing on ultra wides, like Ink Studios, Go for Cash. His monitor is a 49-inch. Literally, he would have to turn his fucking head to see sometimes in the corners of his screen and stuff like that. I mean, you could turn your eye and you could look and stuff, but it's all the way far. Whereas now you could technically, bring in, as you see here, they literally have where you could bring in the HUD.
The HUD right there, yeah.
So the map
you can bring it
and
in,
stuff like that.
You can make it tight, you can make it wide, yeah.
So all of a sudden, they're basically just saying it's super customizable.
Think of movies, though. Remember when movies introduced widescreen?
Yeah.
And how people like, I don't get this. Why is that? It's cutting the top and the bottom. It wasn't really. It was just borders. But it was giving you more wide. So you get to see more. So that's what they're doing with the PC version.
They're talking here too, control customization if you're on mouse and keyboard. Basically every key you could have 3 bindings for. So like essentially, even like for jumping, your jump key could be space, and it could be 2 other buttons if you wanted it to be. If you want it to be like a mouse button and your space button. So very customizable shit like that. Another big thing is they
mouse and keyboard right there. Mouse.
Well,
mouse and keyboard right there.
I mean, since we're
that's what
and then extra,
and then the extra. See, now you're flexing. Okay, we're gonna move on.
I'm just saying,
Cool.
And the extra. This was cool that they were talking about. This was like the latency thing. Basically, they took a high frame rate camera. They set it up with like a little device. This is what NVIDIA does. NVIDIA low latency. But the thing is that, and they talk about this there, and they talk about it at the end. They designed this with AMD in mind, with AMD tech in mind. It's still going to run great if you have an NVIDIA graphics card. But basically, they're saying that the AMD drivers are going to make sure that this game runs really well as well. And they built it around AMD. Why? Because the console runs off of AMD. This is the RDNA 2, all of that shit in mind. So that's the thing. This game is being optimized, yes, for the PC, but just know this, that it's being optimized with the hardware that was put inside of your Xbox, which just so happens to be a forked, dumbed down version of PC hardware. But it's really good, and they're making sure that it's going to work really fucking good with that. And you know what I mean? In tandem with how it's going to run on PC as well, too. So
I don't think people appreciate what 343 has done with this game enough, because people think it's just a game being put on a console and PC, but you don't realize the back end of this stuff. It's
because they cheat. Because in the past they cheated. Because they cheated in the past, and they just made ports like Master Chief Collection. It was, I mean, to a certain extent, it was a port, but then they really did do work on it as well. But at least with this, it's being built for the PC from ground up.
It's PC ground up, completely PC ground up, not a port system.
PC ecosystem. Another announcement too another announcement that they did here, which was actually huge. And I think they talk about it here too. We're getting 3 ranked lobbies. They confirmed it in this video.
Yes.
3 ranked lobbies. Mouse and keyboard ranked lobby. Controller ranked lobby.
Love it.
And then a mouse and keyboard and controller ranked lobby.
I love that.
If you don't care who uses what, you got a lobby. If you only want to be in the controller lobby, you got a lobby. And that means that you can be in a controller lobby and still be playing against people on a fucking PC. But you're in a controller lobby.
I love it.
Okay? You're in a controller lobby. And if you want to be on a mouse and keyboard lobby, you're going to be in that lobby too. So there is no pick your poison, you know what I mean? And then you're still going to have your social games where it's like, and you're going to see people's inputs, just like you and the Master Chief Collection. You can see what people used. You can see if they're using controller. Yep. You can see if they're using mouse and keyboard.
Automatically through the visual.
And it's going to do the same thing here. They do the same thing like on Call of Duty as well too. They tell you what inputs that people are using as well. So it's huge. They show here a little bit of the multiplayer. The customization.
You already know I'm not I don't have a PC to run this stuff. I'm gonna get a laptop this week, so I might be able to game on that because a gaming laptop.
I mean, with the specs that you told me, you'll be able to run Halo on that setup.
I'm excited. I wanna. Can't wait.
This was another big announcement too, right here. Excited. See that third option?
The local area, the LAN.
Remember the old school? I could speak to this.
Halo parties?
I could speak to this, and I'll tell a quick story about this. I was in high school. And Halo 2 was out. I used to have people, my friends, because in the community we lived in Connecticut, I remember throwing a fucking LAN party and literally having like 10 people over for the weekend. My aunt let me do whatever the fuck I want. She would go away for the weekend. She'd go away for the weekend. It was really bad. She'd go away for the weekend. She'd leave me money and be like, all right, don't fuck up the house. Everybody behave.
She's not
you got enough money to like get food and stuff like that. Just chill out and do your thing. I'll see you, Sunday night. Cool. Thank you, Titi. She leaves. Bro, TVs. My friends bringing over their TVs. Check. We got the LAN cables. We got the switch. Check. We got the Ethernet cables that we just bought from Radio Shack. Fucking check. Fucking cable. We got a TV set up upstairs in my room. TV set up downstairs in the living room. Fucking cables running. Boom. LAN party. 4 people upstairs. Split screen on the TV. 4 people downstairs. Split screen on the fucking TV. Massive fucking LAN parties on Halo, man.
You want me to tell you what my LAN parties were like? You saw the meme to the guy and his brother under him with a blanket, and then they cut the screen off with a cardboard box, and one is on top, one is on the bottom, so they can play the same game but co-op. That was me and my brother. Like that's how we play. Like literally, we put blankets over shit and make sure man. Those are one of the best memories in gaming for me.
Same.
And I'm glad that they put the LAN party option back into a game. That's a rare thing now. It's not happening.
And the fact that they're promoting it like that's available so for everybody bitching about what's not going to be available at launch, that's available at launch.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's really about
at launch.
You got LAN. You could do the whole LAN thing there. But
you got LAN.
It's behind the scene kind of stuff. If you're paying attention to what 343 has been doing from day one with this game. There's just so much going on. This game is literally being played right here, showing the graphics. It's literally being played across multiple platforms. Yeah. This is console. This is PC, Steam. Game, all of it.
So you can have it. So consoles. Windows, so on PC, Steam, and Windows and Xbox, like Windows Game Store, basically. So 2 places on PC. On Xbox, it's on your Xbox, but it's on multiple generations of Xbox. Xbox X, Series S, and then Xbox One. Xbox One, basically, and the Xbox One generation as well too. and you're going to be able to play on all of those different types. And this is what they're talking about too with the integration. Discord being integrated with Steam, being integrated with Xbox Live Party. Like everybody has to have. They basically said if you don't have a Microsoft account, you got to get one. And then also their partnership here with Razer. Shout out to Razer. I have Razer.
I want that fucking keyboard.
I love Razer. That keyboard's sick. So it's a nice. That's a dope. It's a Black Widow keyboard that they did special edition. Those are for sale. They have the mouse as well too. That they're coming. The cool thing about it is that there's going to be a profile for the Chroma. So even if you just have a Razer keyboard with the Chroma lights, when you load up the game, if you let Chroma take over, it does the shit like so. When your shield pops, and they show it. When your shield pops, it blinks red, and it does that shit. And then when it charges back up, it does the whole blue thing, and they show it. And they show it here as well too. Basically, your WASD keys are linked. Your mouse will blink. Yeah. They should. Yeah, right here. They show it like boom. You're red. And then you charge back up. Your shield charges back up. Fucking crazy.
I am so fucking ready for Halo, man. Chat. Let me know if you're ready for Halo. Let me know in the chat because I'm excited for Halo. The more and more they keep talking about it, the more I'm going to fucking release it already. Like I want to the flight. Give me something.
This was cool too.
And then this.
This is a 69. This is so Ink Studios has one of these. Manny. Heartbeat has one of these as well too, but not obviously the Halo. They did a special.
Right. They have the actual
Halo Infinite.
Not the Halo. Yeah.
Right. Well, so they did an actual Halo Infinite 6900 XT. This is the beefiest AMD graphics card that they actually sell. They announced that they're not selling this. They're doing giveaways only. So they made a limited. They did a limited run of them, and they're doing giveaways only basically. So just a way to like help people of the community.
Cards were at,
yeah.
Xbox.
So.
343 bought them all, and now they're giving them away.
And now they're just giving them away in partnership with AMD as well too. So it's pretty sick, and it's a dope looking card, man. It's that's an aluminum backplate that basically has like the sheath body and stuff to it.
It looks like the chess piece,
Yeah. No, it's it's just more hype, man. I can't wait for it. I'm looking forward to playing it on PC, but I'm also gonna have it on the Xbox installed as well too.
Yeah, I know you're gonna be playing more on PC side of things. That's where it's at.
Well, but it also depends on how it runs because I wasn't able to play the flight on the PC. I know.
Oh, right, you've been having the issue. Yeah.
I'm assuming it's gonna run just fine on my computer. I'm assuming, but if it doesn't, I have the Xbox Series S, and I know for a fact it's gonna run just fine on the Series S. So yeah, I'm super excited about it, man. It's gonna be fucking awesome.
I don't see chat talking about it. Are you guys hyped for this game? Like this game is, oh my god! It comes out. It's just what is it? 10/24 right now, October 24th.
Yeah,
it's a little over a month before it comes out. Jesus Christ! Oh my god, I can't wait. But that's Halo, man. But I'm happy that it's not just a port. That's what it's been in the past, with Halo.
Yep.
And that they're actually building it from the ground up, and everything's being worked for a PC, whether it comes to latency, whether it comes to ultra wide screens, selections in the options you have with, and not only on and off switches, but sliders, meaning that you don't just get to turn it off and on. You can adjust to sliding it, saying how you want more.
And specifically critique it. So similar to what Back 4 Blood did, where it's like it actually tested your PC settings to be like, hey, this is the recommended settings that we have, and they got it they were pretty good. Like because when I loaded. That's the thing. Back 4 Blood on PC, for me personally, runs great. Even on my PC setup, like it runs really good. But they did a really good job optimizing it. I'm hoping a similar thing's going to happen with Halo. That it's just going to basically read the PC and be like,
it scans your PC.
It'll just scan the PC and be like, oh, this is the hardware you got. This is what we recommend, and then I could go in and do the tuning because it might just read the hardware, and then some games will just be like, oh, you should be playing at this. And some shit, I don't want to have maxed out and stuff like that. Some shit, I just want to, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need all the settings. You definitely get a lot of things. FOV is one of the things I'll fix right away.
Shit, I was told FOV is not a thing. That FOV is just it's overhyped. And I'm going, you clearly haven't
say
played
that
FOV.
until you play games that allow you to adjust FOV. And then when you fix it, and then you realize how much of a terror you become because you could
that
fucking
shit was
see.
To me over the years by you guys,
of course,
you were Reborn and Heartbeat, FOV.
Because until you experience it for yourself, it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain field of view to somebody, especially in a first-person shooter that doesn't experience it for themselves. And still to this day, some people don't like because they're so used to playing so on top of their gun. Mm-hmm. They're not used to having more shit to look at, basically. Mm-hmm. And having more a bigger field of view. But when you actually get used to playing with a bigger field of view, it's like a whole new world because you get to see shit that you didn't normally see before.
Right. You miss. I mean, you miss a lot too, man. I've seen videos of FOV, sliders and maximum to like, and you see what you're missing. When this is not. Wow.
When you're normally playing at a 75 FOV, but then you realize, like, wow, imagine if I was at like 100 or 102,
Mm-hmm.
and then you see what 102 looks like. You're like, I'm never playing on this other thing again. What the fuck was
Yeah.
I doing?
Right.
You know?
But yeah, man, that's Halo PC is coming
December 8th.
again. What's that?
December 8th.
I said, what did I say?
No, you didn't say it. I think I filled it in.
When you said that, I heard in my head I said February. I don't know why.
No, December 8th.
Weird. But yeah, it's Halo PC. That's coming. That's another one exclusive coming to the Xbox ecosystem, the Game Pass ecosystem. I like saying that because that's
No,
really
it's true.
what it is. It's
'Cause
the
it's
Game
true.
Pass ecosystem. So any other closing notes on Halo before we move on?
Excited.
Chat, let us know. Continue that conversation you want to chat about. I know Other Zinc said he bought a new stereo system to play Halo Infinite. That's how passionate the community is when it comes to Halo. It's like I know they have gone through trials and tribulations from when they showed off that first trailer back at E3. I think they've redeemed themselves tenfold.
Yeah.
And they're doing a phenomenal job. And hopefully soon here we'll get a campaign trailer. I kind of have
It's
an
coming.
idea of when that's coming. But we'll talk about that later on. The next topic, since we finished there with the Halo, I want to talk about it just came out a couple of days ago, and we talked about at the top of the show, GTA Trilogy. I'm gonna put that, and then it's gonna be subtitled with "Is it worth $60?" Chad, I want you to guys get involved in this conversation. Me and Logic has gone, and a lot of us in the game in our gaming circle, we've gone back and forth about GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition. Is it worth 60? Is it not worth 60? If you break it apart, it's 20 each. It makes sense. We've been going back and forth with it. I started in the sense of it's worth, and I think we said in our podcast.
I think we 40. I think we agreed on $40.
And this before we saw trailers, before we saw anything. I think 40 is a good mark for this game.
Yeah.
I saw this trailer pop up and they showed it, and I'm going, wait a minute, I got to rethink what I'm saying here.
This looks it looks great. Listen,
I got to rethink what I'm saying here.
Remaster, not remake.
Yes.
Remaster.
Understand that this is a remaster. I'm seeing way too many people confused about what a remaster. I even put a damn tweet out there with an article that was dated, but it explained what a remaster and a remake was. Because a lot of people look confused out there. About
Are we doing like the half? Like you guys, you see the half and half?
Look at the subway. Jesus Christ! Look at the.
And I don't know where they ripped this video. I don't know where they ripped this video from. That's another thing. You could fucking read the letters. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you couldn't read that before.
It was blurry. Okay, to say the least.
Blurry. Right. So when this trailer came out, I said, "Fuck this! I got to rethink what I'm talking about."
This is crazy.
I started doing the way my headspace works is I got to break shit down. I got to make sure what I'm saying is backed up by facts or some sort of something that I can go, "Oh, that's why."
Dude,
so
look at this.
I'm doing breakdowns. I'm going. So the first thing I looked at was hours of the game between 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. How many hours gameplay?
That's hard. That's hard though. Because I'm gonna jump in real quick. Like I was gonna say, because I was the guy on Vice City. I never did the fucking main story campaigns. I'm out here. You know how many times I would load up Grand Theft Auto and just fuck around in Grand Theft Auto? Grand Theft Auto has that one thing that I haven't been able to get in many other games, where I just load up the game and then it's like my brain. It's like I become like an ADHD person because I'm just like squirrel and I'm fucking just bouncing from like. From vehicle to vehicle. If it's Vice City, I'm just fucking driving around listening to music. I was that person. I'm that person where I'm just going to find the fast fucking car, rob the fast car, and go and fucking drive around the island listening to music because that was fun.
Was it GTA the one that spawned that culture where you don't do main, you do sides? So you get
to a certain extent, because you think about, I mean, especially too with a lot of things like in Vice City. Remember how you used to, if you didn't put in the cheats or whatever, you had to find all the collectibles, all the hidden shit in order to get the Apache helicopter.
Yeah.
In order to unlock the Apache and stuff like that, you had to find all 99 collectibles and shit.
They left a hot coffee mod in there?
No, it's gone. There's no shot. It's gone for San Andreas. Yeah, no, wishful thinking.
I think we dated ourselves there, but yeah. No, but I was doing the breakdown of just maining. But
just look how the colors, the colors alone, it's crazy. When you look at the side by side compare, even this right here, this is a little jarring. So I did this one real quick, just the colors and the vibrancy. Like you understand the 80s, Vice City Like, you think about the colors and you think about playing it like on a PS2, or even like I played it on original Xbox and PS2 as well. But I played when it came over to Xbox finally, because that was a big thing. It had exclusivity on PlayStation for the longest until it finally came out on Xbox. Even back then we were talking about games with fucking exclusivity and stuff. But even this, look at this.
The lighting, the texture.
Even the character
And we
models, they don't
appreciate the
look like,
fingers. The fingers, they got fingers.
instead of just like those block, like the block, like the fucking. Look at this. It's
Yeah.
CJ. Look at this. What the fuck is this?
That's what he's got. It is.
I mean, we didn't bitch. We weren't bitching about this back in 2005, whenever the fuck this came out. It might even been before that. It could have been even a little bit earlier than that, actually.
I don't know, 4,
4, 5, one of those. I think it was 5 finally when it came out for Xbox, but I think it was already out like 3, 4, something like that.
San Andreas was my first Xbox experience. We spoke about it before the show.
It's crazy. That's this like
my favorite one is Vice City, but I played that on PS2. Look at the rain. I mean, just everything.
That's Liberty
this
City.
This is what made me go, fuck, I got to rethink this. And I've paid, for example, I'm going to pay the 60, 70 or whatever I'm going to pay for Battlefield, and it's only a multiplayer game. At the end of the day, I got to take my own advice. I got to start thinking, is it worth my money to buy this? Am I going to get the playthrough, the hours the fun of it? Am I going to get all that back?
And then here's the conversation that we come to as well, too. Well, and it's the same thing I said, like with games that are coming out on EA right now. If you fucking wait long enough, you're probably going to get it on Game Pass. We don't even have to wait long enough. Granted, there's 2 other games that you're not going to get right away, but on November 11th, you're getting San Andreas. You're getting San Andreas on Game Pass. December 7th, I believe. Not Vice City, but Liberty City. Grand Theft Auto 3. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 3 is coming out on PlayStation now. That's the one that they're giving away in December, that they're launching it. So, and Game Pass is getting San Andreas. What's to say in a couple of months from now they don't rotate it? So, because you got all the games coming out, it's like,
I think that's going to happen. They're going to rotate that.
Or to your point, when you like to say like holiday, I mean, I don't think the fact that it's coming out in November, I don't see this game getting discounted right away. But there's a good shot too. You play through San Andreas and stuff like that. Maybe you don't buy the other ones. Maybe you wait until they hit Game Pass, or you wait until it goes on sale, and then maybe you could catch it for $50, for $40. Build them some reward points. Use that. Use your reward points. Buy it, you know what I mean? And bring it down as well, too, if you could say that. Because like I said, it's going to be up to you. But if you got a backlog of games, I mean, it's hard not to recommend this, because this looks like a lot of fucking fun. I remember how I never played. Here's another one, too. Here's a great omission. I've never played through San Andreas. I've never beat San Andreas.
Wow.
Never beat San Andreas. Okay. I played it. I did the whole workout thing and stuff like that, but I'm very excited for this to come out.
Tell me you got to at least the CJ part, where the big meme where he's here we go again.
The walking. Oh shit, here we go. Yes, I did that, but I never played through the whole, when he starts popping around to the different locations and stuff like that. Never did all that shit. And then eventually you get like the jet. Remember, you get the jetpack or something like that.
Yeah. So this is gonna be like.
It's going to be almost like a refreshing, like a new experience. Like I remember watching video of people playing it and stuff. And then also, too, it's the original San Andreas. Like, now we got GTA 5, but this was GTA 5 before GTA 5.
Yeah.
If you think, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, they did a lot of work to that as well, too.
I think a lot of people got disappointed with the fact that it doesn't have GTA 5 graphics. I'm going, how much? You can't do much with a game that came out years ago, right? They did what the work they did is beautiful.
But and as a remaster, if you're telling me,
GTA 5 controls. It has GTA 5 controls to it. Like they at least put that to these games.
This right here, just even seeing the Vice City, like the character models, and like I understand, say what you want now, it's not up to spec now, but the fact that I'm seeing like the win animation on this guy's on his T-shirt on Tommy Vercetti, right here. Look at, I forget his name in Vice City and stuff like that, but you look at this character model right here, and look when it goes over. What the? Yeah. Like they didn't
He's got a good doctor.
It's not a remake, but one thing that I'll tell you, they didn't half-ass this at any bit. It doesn't look.
That was my initial thought when before they showed this video off and they dropped it. My initial thought process, because of who Rockstar is and what they've done.
Yeah. My
initial thought process was that, man, they're gonna half-ass the shit out of this and milk.
I don't think so. No.
And that's what I thought before I saw this video. That was my thought process. They took the mods away from the community. They delisted the fucking digital copies on the stores. So you can't get that no more digitally. What are they doing? And then they came out with this. I'm going, wow. Like, look, listen. I'm not gonna sit here and try to sell this to you. I'm not. That's not what I'm
No,
trying to do. We're not trying to do that.
But just the fact is that if you've never experienced these games before, because there are a lot of people coming up as well too. Like you have to understand the audience and stuff. Not everybody's our age where they got to experience. You know how many parents that they had, how many kids growing up and stuff like that had parents that said, "No, you're not playing that fucking game. You can't play that game." Like that's another thing too. Like let's not sit here and pretend like everybody who was a kid had their parents go to the whatever store of choice and purchase these games for them. There are a lot of games that people didn't get to experience as a child because they were told by other people, no, this game wouldn't be good for your child. This game is bad for your child. This game has drugs, sex, violence, alcohol, all that shit.
There was a big, deal with this game back in the time, and in that era, there was a big deal with this game with kids trying to get this game and they couldn't. I remember this. I'm old enough to remember this stuff. This wasn't something very available for everybody. Now these kids that denied access to this game are not able to experience it for the first time as adults. And I'm happy for them. I'm glad they can do
in a better light as well too. Not in the original PS2, original Xbox, even the PC versions of these games and stuff like that. Like where they still run, like, you know what I mean? No, yeah, so with TK saying like, yeah, they had all this time by now, but who the fuck wants to play a game that looks like the way that it looked? That's another thing though. Nostalgia is a funny thing that way. Like sometimes, like things that we remember from our past,
like the gaming community. Period.
Right? Nostalgia is a funny thing the way it works. Like me, nostalgically, I remember dumping so many hours into Vice City. I love Vice City. Vice City is my favorite. And like I said, I never really played too much into San Andreas, and I wasn't a big GTA 3 person as well. But Vice City, I dumped hours, and like I said, just
that's my favorite.
That was my favorite out of all of them. So the fact is that you're getting around. We're getting achievements. This could be the rewards game when they bring back the reward thing. I could do so many things. And the fact is that, you know, San Andreas, I get to play San Andreas now on Game Pass. I don't have to pay for it.
That's the beauty.
You know what I mean?
It's on fucking Game Pass. It's going to be day and date on Game Pass. I'm able to play it.
And there is other games
that I'm fence, by the way, I'm still on the fence with this. $60 still.
No. But that's not the conversation. But see, I don't think that should be the conversation, especially for us, like I said, when there's at least one of the three games that you're going to be able to purchase.
Yeah.
Or that you're going to be able to play without having to buy it.
Yeah.
So then it's like, is 60 worth it for the other two games? If you're going to make that assumption that
in Vice City and San Andreas, I'm happy that I'm getting San Andreas through Game Pass, and I'm hoping I'm assuming they're going to sell it separate because you know if they have the games already on Game Pass and PS Now separately, I'm sure.
And then in the time that it takes, and then in the time that it's going to take you, you're going to be able to play San Andreas and beat it probably while it's on Game Pass. It's not like
San Andreas is main story only, 28 hours.
Okay.
That's beefy for me.
That's still 28 hours gameplay, and not including achievements or anything like that. You're going to get through as well too.
Yeah.
Achievement hunting and stuff. So
and then Vice City is 19.5. But if they are selling it separate, I'm not interested in 3. I will be definitely getting Vice City if it's $20.
Yeah, I'm excited to play 3. Listen, I still got to fill up the fucking time. 11th. That means that that's a day before I'll be able to play this a little bit before Battlefield comes out. That's the day before Battlefield comes out. And then it's like when I'm not on Battlefield, that's another. This is just one of those other things. It's like, what do I plan on doing right now? I don't want to really play anything else. I want to play some GTA. I want to run around and go fucking drive around and do some stupid shit. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's always the game.
You go in there, fuck around, and slap
and then you put it, and then you put it down.
Cards and do all that stuff. I mean, again, we're not here to sell you on the game. We're just pretty much stating our opinions on it, our thoughts. And see how everybody thinks about this. But it's 11/11, which is November 11th, $60 the price. Trilogy Definitive Edition. They did a tremendous job on this trilogy by remastering it, not remaking it, and that's what I gotta say about that. Other than that, again, it's split the community down the middle. Even our chats, you know, some are saying I'm getting it, some are saying I'm not. So or most are saying they're not getting it. I don't know how that works, but. I see I'm still with the 40-50. I'm still with that too, Reborn. Still with the $40.50.
But we said, but we're
it's
documented.
all about the value that you build for yourself.
But we're documented on this podcast saying that exact thing that he just said.
Yeah.
No one's here trying to say that. I still don't think that it personally, to me, it's still because of how old the fucking game is. I don't still think it's not worth 60.
No.
It's not worth 60, no. But that's me personally. But guess what? I don't have to worry about that because I get San Andreas and I get to play that.
We good. It's Game Pass, baby. It's Game Pass.
Exactly.
So we're getting that. Let's see. We got. We want to move on to the next topic, or we want to wrap this up? You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, we're done with this. We're done with
All
this
right.
stuff.
If you guys want to continue that conversation with GTA, by all means do that. The next topic we want to touch on. What do you want to touch on? The next topic or the one under it?
We can do the one under it.
The one under it, Xbox storage, or storage.
Yeah.
Let's do storage. All right, we were completely fucking off on this.
Or at least on one. At least on one of them.
On one, we were completely off on the storage because we talked about this on the pod, and we we thought it was the 512. We thought it was gonna be $179 or $159 or something like that. We didn't even know there was a 2 gig or a 2 tera option coming out.
No, we said no. This is when, remember, they started listing the SKUs. They were only showing the 512 one. They didn't show the 2 terabit one.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because they're
512 and the external
512 and the external. So they still have the external one. It's a 4 terabit external. Notice how they're not even talking about that.
They're not highlighting that at all.
But here's the crux of it right here. $399, 2 terabits comes out. You can pre-order it. Comes out early December. This is fucking insane.
It is a Gen 4 NVMe.
Well, no, it's okay. Well, here's the thing. I don't want to sugarcoat this, and I'm not going to sit here and try to.
Okay.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not going to sugarcoat this.
That's all. I just play devil's advocate.
No. It's not even the devil's advocate part. It's the same internal memory that the Xbox already uses. It's of the same spec. It's of the same speed.
That's why it's proprietary, because
this is why they're trying to say no, you proprietary. Yeah. This is what they're trying to say, that we had this conversation in one of the earliest podcasts that we did, and when we talked about the external hard drive and stuff like that. This is one of the earliest podcasts that we ever did. We said, listen, the fact that this thing you put it in, it's as simple as a memory card. They made it. They made it easy. As easy as just putting it in an expansion slot. Here's your memory. Here's your 1 terabit. Yeah, $219, whatever. But here's an extra 1 terabit. Proprietary, and the games run just as if you install them on your internal. There's no difference.
If I may interject just a little bit. I think that's where when you're trying to wrap your head around that price as well, people calling it a memory card, it's really not a memory card. It's a storage card. It's storage unit.
Yeah, SSD.
And the thing
storage.
When people think memory card, they go back to like the PlayStation days where the memory card, that
was 30, was still 25, 30 or whatever. But guess what? That memory card for PS2, since we're going back to those days, or we could even go back. We could. Here we go. Or we could even go back to your Dreamcast fucking visual memory card with the little controller on it that you could go. The virtual memory unit, the VMUs. Okay, right. That you could plug in, and then it showed the game. And then if you were playing fucking Sonic, you did the little Sonic spin on there. And then if you were playing, okay. So we could go back to that too. That thing wasn't. I mean, it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't expensive. It wasn't 200. I think it was relative to what it was. But no, it didn't have 1 terabit of space. So realistically speaking, 1 terabit of space is a lot. But comparative to actual hard drive space, like now, like this is where the conversation comes in, a PC. And what and price and things like that, and then people are making the comparisons too, like to the PlayStation, to like NVMe drives, Gen 4 and NVMe drives right now, M.2s are roughly around that price. If you're looking for a 2 terabit, they're about $400. So it's compatible basically to that, but that still doesn't make it okay. That doesn't justify the fact that it's still $400. That's an Xbox. That's a Series S.
It's a whole fucking console.
That's a Series S, or you're $100 off from just getting an Xbox Series X. Is it silly for me to say if you have an X, you should just go buy another X? No, but that just does it for.
It's hard to get these things, by the way. You still can't just readily get them at a store, any console. Right. But I think this price, I'm sure the marketing team thought of all this and all the business fucking models and everything. But the price is almost like purposely geared for you to go. Like what you just finished saying, I just throw another $100 and I'll get a Series X, and I already get a 1 tera in that. Why would I want to get this? Like
if you're a Series, no, right? If you're a Series S person, I'm telling you, like I'm a Series S. No shot, because guess what? On the secondary market, here's some crazy shit. If you think about it, you'll be without an Xbox for a couple of days, depending on how you do this. But for the 400 and whatever, how much tax it's going to come out to, depending on the state that you're in, 417, 428, 435, whatever fucking state you want to live in that you're going to pay tax on, okay? So $400, you sell your Xbox Series S for even $150 just to cover your taxes with the controller, and guess what? You're buying yourself a 1 terabit Series S. Series X, excuse me. Like it does. As a Series S owner, fuck that, because I'm getting a more powerful system anyway. If I just take that money that I would have bought for the 2 terabit, You know what I mean? And you say, oh, well, maybe don't get the 2 terabit, maybe get the 1 terabit. But how big are these fucking games?
Yeah.
I'm over here
They're not
playing,
small no
and then
more.
you get the
Forza's
solution too.
103 or something like that.
You get this. And how much is Halo? I'm going to have Halo and Battlefield installed and Forza installed. No, of course I'm going to be playing hot swap fucking potato with my external
It's a plug and
2
fucking
terabit.
play.
And when I want to play this game, I got to move shit over and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and people are giving those alternatives like, well, you don't have to buy the memory card. It's like, no, I know I don't have to. As a consumer, I'm saying fuck that price.
Yeah.
That price is ridiculous. Now, you want to say $140 for the 512 gig? Okay. It's not 220. Like, so at least we know that price is probably going to stay. So 220 for 1 terabyte, $39.99 for 512, and 400.
No, it's just,
what Paul say,
bro. That's
go to Stock
for
X
some,
and
that's
get your
a
Series
paycheck,
X,
man. For some, that's a paycheck for some, man. For most, not some. For most, we live in America, for God's sake. That's a paycheck. Could you imagine? What's the Australia price on that?
I don't even want to think about it because that's another thing. That brings me back to that thing where people
break that down. What's the Australia price on that?
I go back to the conversation I had where people try to say like, "Oh, fuck Game Pass," like who doesn't want to pay for their games, and I was like, you guys don't want to pay for your games. So it's like, I can only imagine what this is going to fucking run you when it finally gets over to you and stuff like that. Yeah, no, this is crazy. So it's cool that they have more options now. I think that's great, but I can't wait until there's either and I don't know if it's in this article, but I think it was in another article I read. I want to say it was from The Verge. But if they ever open this up to other companies outside of Seagate, I'm interested to see what those companies do with memory and then how it compares to the speeds of this.
I'm on the side that it's already these companies are already working because as you can see with the reaction what happened to PlayStation the moment they opened it up and they said it's in beta now, how many companies jumped in and says
Samsung had it. Samsung literally was like, yo, our shit works.
There's people already working on this. They're just waiting for whatever that
you'd have to hope at this point.
That partnership that they have. Once that's said and done, I don't know how long. I thought it was gonna be a year. We're coming up on that, so let's see if that holds true. But now that I see a Seagate 2 terabyte, storage, I don't see it being run. And like the moment this opens up, this kind of proprietary, engineering opens up to other companies, you will start seeing these prices be more competitive.
Well, any type of competition,
yeah,
correct? Any type of competition in the space. But until then, this is what you're going to have to deal with. Me personally, since we're all good with sharing our opinions, I do not think that's fucking worth.
I need a 2 terabyte in my life, but not for $400.
Not for $400. You don't.
Man.
I would seriously. I'm that friend that literally, if you told me you bought
that's a few
and not to say that
not
to say that I should, be checking your wallet or anything that. But as a friend, I would be like, no, don't fucking do it.
It's not even about how much you make and how much you don't make. It's about smart spending. You got to be smart about this stuff.
That shit is crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
I just made a joke, but hopefully you guys caught that. That's a lot of Happy Meals for me, man. That's a lot of fucking Happy Meals for me. I cannot spend $400 on a 2 tera storage. What's a good sweet spot for you? If you was in the market for 2 tera, this Seagate 2 tera, what would be a sweet spot for you to go, yes, I'm getting it? Knowing the market on the SSD side.
No, but I thought, but you have to think about what's comparable. If they're going to try to tell me that this thing works like a PCIe, like if I literally just went to Newegg and I searched up Gen 4 hard drives, Gen 4 M.2, and I just go for a 1 terabit Gen 4 M.2 Samsung, it's $180.
That's a 2 tera?
2 terabit is $370. If you're going to try to tell me that this drive is comparable because it's proprietary as well too, so then I guess you could explain to me the other $30 more, right? So $30 more, so 2 terabits, Xbox proprietary, all of that stuff, and it's going to give me those type of speeds. Yeah, okay, 400. I mean, but I don't want to. But that's just memory. But that's the thing too. It's like realistically,
TK.
Good business literally would have been like that 512, $100. That 1 terabit. 150, lower that fucking price. It's been at 220 since you launched it. 150. And this one, how much? Because here's my issue. This fucking drive, no one's going to sit here and tell me that the markup isn't in the hundreds of percentiles higher than what
easy.
it costs for these people to make it. And I don't care what they say about shortage and all that bullshit. This is without, because guess what? You were seeing this price anyway, even if we didn't have the chip shortage and any of that bullshit going on as well too. This price was the price you were getting because this was mapped out when they told Seagate probably told Microsoft, this is what we're going to do, and they were like, all right, well, this is what you're going to charge for it.
I just think at this point, if this was going to be the price for 2 tera, why introduce it? Why introduce it? Like slow down on that. Like, why introduce it? Like, what we initially thought, at least what I initially thought was that they were going to introduce a 2 tera, but make it where the 512 is where it's at right now with the 139. Is it 139? 140. And then have the 1 tera drop down in price from 220 to like
maybe 180. Maybe 180. Maybe
and
180.
Then introduce a 2 tera a month later, 2 months later for 250. And you're good to like. That's what that's my headspace.
I think 250 might not be that bad. 250 sounds decent. 250, 300. But
that's a sweet spot for me. But
this company wants to.
That's if you're introducing 3 tiers. But low, middle, high, like that.
But you're taking away margins. But the second, that's $150 in margins that they're going to try to tell you, shipping, manufacturing, where it's coming from. It's not being made in the U.S. It's not, and this is where that other conversation comes in, which I'm going to have that conversation. So if you're going to sit here and try to tell me that it's the tax, it's the shipping costs that you're paying for getting it over here and stuff in bulk and manufacturing and all that stuff, and then to make, but also too, this is like, it's like you're crying, but you have a giant ham underneath your fucking shoulder. It's like, you're crying tears like you ain't got nothing to eat.
Fucking Xboxes, bro.
You're eating, you're living life as Seagate, being, one of the world's largest hard drive fucking manufacturers, and you got an exclusivity contract with Xbox. You're making proprietary fucking hard drives for them.
Yeah.
So, but this is the price that you get. So that's why I'm a little, to me, it's distasteful, but this is what you have to deal with.
I mean, it's one of those. I don't have money. Not that I don't have money. I'm not a rich guy. I'm not a poor guy. But I am a Puerto Rican, and the P in that stands for Puerto Rican. That's just how I roll. I mean, I'm not.
Damn, that's how we broke it down right now.
That's how we doing it. I'm just like I just gotta break the tension up a little bit. I just got.
No, I'm fine. Listen, I won't be fucking getting that.
No, me neither. I'm not. Look,
anytime.
Not only that, I have a wife.
Sorry.
You know how hard it is to explain this shit to my wife? Hey, babe. I want $400. No, I'm not calling you. I'm talking to the podcast. Hey, babe, like, she's gonna look at me like, you stupid or what? Like, we have shit to pay. Like, what is $400 for what? And then, mind you, when I bought the 1 tera and she saw the size of this shit, she was like, what the? That's 220? I'm like, yeah, but babe, it does all this. She goes, no, man, you're gonna have to explain this like a dummy because I don't understand why 220 for that small little device.
I mean, and this is why they tell you right here, the velocity architecture, because it uses the same it uses the same technology that's being used on the hard drive that's already in there.
All right, TK, now you're flexing, bro. 9 before I buy. Jesus Christ, brother! Like, do you have the electric company in your backyard or something? Wow.
No, it's like Monopoly, and he owns property, and they keep landing on him.
Oh, look. Forge from Fallout in the chat. If you guys did not catch that interview with me and him last Friday, it dropped. Well, not last Friday, 2 Fridays ago it dropped. Please be sure to check that out. I had an interview with the man. Beautiful individual, smart man. He also has his own content that he creates on his channel. Go check him out, please. It's on our channel under the creator of content.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna have to give up fucking body parts to get that. Like, come on.
Oh hell yeah! Yes, it's like I'm not.
Like I said, me personally, as an Xbox Series S user, I'd be getting an X before. If I had money to buy that drive, I would be selling the smart thing. Me personally, I'd be selling my S and getting an X. That's me. If you're a Series S user, you don't do this.
This is a no-go. I'm a Series X user. No-go. I'm not doing it.
Well,
400? No. Like, look, at this point, I'd rather either do what you said, the hot swapping between the external and back into the hard drive, or I'll just go ahead and be okay with deleting games and come back to it because we do
until you're ready. Yeah, exactly. Well, especially when you get your son's internet fiber hooked up, and then it just.
We know.
Just down. I'm telling you, when you get that gig, it's up down. You don't even think about it.
It says fucking uploads is like 500 gigs.
Upload, download. Like, so yeah. So anything else on the?
No, we're good. I think when it comes to that point, it is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's a slap to my face as a gamer. It really is. I think it came out the wrong time. Holidays come 400.
But that's why. Gifts? But that's why.
Woo.
Get
don't
you where
know.
you
All
want
right.
with this. Next topic.
Andres Escobar. First time, I'm assuming first time. I've never seen that name. The interesting thing is that I don't get it, but the 2 terabyte I had the design for Xbox label AO is different than the 1 tera or 512 variant. So somehow the 2 terabyte one is premium.
No, I think it's essentially the same. The 2 terabit
It's the
that's
same
coming out,
thing.
if it is the if it is the Seagate one, then it's essentially it's the 1 terabyte. It's just an extra. It's just another terabyte of storage, and it works the same way as the 1 terabyte one that's already out. It just doesn't cost $220. It costs $399 now.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too, where the 1 terabit, which they said no, fuck it, that's still going to be 220. So that 1 terabit's still setting you back 220 anyway.
Yeah.
But now, oh, you don't want the 120, you want maybe 512. Okay, well, 140. But it's hard to justify
Whew.
$140
Think
for
about
512.
going into a store and let's just in a perfect world where an Xbox Series X is readily available, you can just walk in and pick one up, and then you pick one up a 2 tera because these games are big. You're a Call of Duty player. You're 500 gigs is a thing with
Yeah,
that, and you need that 2 tera. You walking out that store with what $900 plus over $1,000 in just two things.
yeah, a system and a
Oh
fucking
my
memory
god!
card.
Go get a PC. I mean that's what that conversation has to
I was
come
gonna
in.
say we had that. I was gonna say we had that conversation. Listen, we did that. We
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 did
played
that.
Let's
We
Build a
did that.
P. We did that. Let's play Build a PC. And listen, we're not far off from that
All right.
price when you think about it.
Look, if the modders are in my chat, I'm gonna have to have you mod TK. He's flexing way too hard in our chat right now.
No, that's fine. Listen, some people have their setups like that where they got the multiple, you know what I mean,
That man,
consoles, and
he's a gamer. I can't take
that's
that away
cool.
from him. He's a damn gamer. All right, so we're done. That was it. That was the SSD conversation. What do you want to talk about next?
Are we going next
You think
way
this?
down the list?
What is it?
Down the list. I was gonna say the next topic on the list.
Okay. You think this chat's ready for this kind of conversation? We
I mean, it should be a fun.
throw it up there.
Wait,
Let's go.
which one? Wait, hold on. I'm confused now because I don't know which one.
The one that we skipped over.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. There we go. We are gonna talk about PlayStation. Hopefully, you guys. This is not your regular PlayStation chat, guys.
Well, no, you shied. Well, listen, you shied away when I tried to put my PlayStation on stream before, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were ready to have this conversation.
Yeah, that's true. Fuck. Yeah, I keep forgetting this shit
See?
is like live and.
Yeah, no, I know, and people can actually rewind. Anyways, yeah, PlayStation news.
PlayStation news. They had news.
God of War on PC.
Look, God of War on PC. They did
We
a
knew that.
brand new kick system player, and then they have COD once again. COD 1 year exclusivity DLC is back for them. Let's talk about God of War first on PC. Pretty
Yeah.
cool. I think it's cool
Yeah.
that God of War is going to PC. I've always been a person to talk about options and choices. This will let the gaming community on the PC side get to experience this. I know a lot of us think, well, if they want to play God of War, why not get a PlayStation? PC gamers are different. They're not out there getting consoles to play exclusive games. That's a fact. And Logic can fucking correct me all he wants. Like, he can correct me on that. It's not a thing. PC gamers will not go out and get a console to play an exclusive game because they can wait. Especially now that we're seeing these games coming out from PlayStation going on PC. They don't mind waiting 2 or 3 years. What the fuck?
Which it felt like from a business standpoint. I mean, we knew this when they were talking about when we saw the PS Studio thing getting trademarked under Steam. We were like, oh wait, why is PS Studio showing in under Steam? Because you're gonna get first party games on the PC. It's gonna happen, and it already happened. It's happened already. It's happened, but now we're getting God of War. So now I'm just waiting for the announcement that God of War Ragnarok, after it comes out on PS5, will be coming to PC, because you're not just going to do one.
It's coming.
You're right. You're not going to do the 3-year-old game and then not do its fucking sequel after that, because you're not going to shut out a whole other buyer, basically consumer group.
Right.
You'll do what everybody else does, and you'll do the exclusivity thing, and you'll hold it back, for a year, 6 months, a year, whatever. And then eventually you're announced like, oh, hey, we got it ready. It's coming for PC.
Yeah, just looking at Matt's comment. Come February, we're gonna have a mod of war. But it's one of those things where I'm all about options. I'm all about choices. I like when this happens. It opens up the conversation door. Look, even Jim Ryan had this comment recently. Spoke about how to get the masses to play his games. Right? Like you can only do so much on a console. You can only push so many sales on a console, and then it has a ceiling. How do you get more money? Essentially, what he's saying is how do I milk it? How do I get more money out of it? Is what he says.
Yeah, how do I get the most money out of that without basically saying, without going over to the because who else are you going to license this game to?
Correct.
You're not going to go and license it to Xbox.
No.
We know this.
And you bought a studio that specializes in porting over to PC, so
Right.
it's happening.
So now this is the route that you're going to take now.
Correct.
So you're going to cherry select it. Right now, we don't know. It's not every first party game.
I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know how they're picking what goes first, what goes. I don't know how they're doing it.
Whatever. However, it's probably in the order of probably popularity, what they feel could actually get. Like, I think God of War. That's
probably
one of the easiest ones.
Talked about Ragnarok. This is perfect.
This is going to be one of the easiest ones to get played on PC, and a lot of people that I guess are PC, I think you could get people to play this game like on PC, especially when you show them the graphic fidelity, all of that stuff. People on Fortnite, you're going to get anybody that's got the Fortnite. You're going to be the best version. It's going to be the best version of the fucking game. It's
going to be the best version of the game.
Even if it ends up being just like the Metal Gear Solid 5 port. The Metal Gear Solid 5 port ran buttery smooth. It was a ported version, but because of who worked on it and because who it was Kojima and stuff. It's the same thing when you think about a game like Death Stranding and stuff like that. Like, it runs fucking great on PC. Like, these games that were first party games or first, for PlayStation, they will run on PC and they're going to run very well as long as the people that are at least porting them over are doing their job. Yeah, they're halfway doing their job.
I'm assuming. Do you think that studio they bought is already doing it, or they have somebody else on it?
If they're doing,
because they got Blueprint,
they might be doing
it.
I don't know what they're but I don't know who's going to be responsible for it, or if it is going to be Santa Monica that's actually already working. This could have already been in the works. They've already could have been working on the PC version of this, just like
given the track record of how much they said this won't happen, but now it's happening, and it comes out quick.
But see, TK, I don't agree with the PC players normally play different type of games because I'm a PC player, and this game would be right up my alley. So like, everybody is different, right? And I get that, but I still think I don't know. Did you touch something? Did you move? Did you? There you go. I think you caught up. So the only thing is with that, it's like PC players, they do play different types of games, but this is still a single player game that there's a lot of players that didn't get to play it because they didn't have a PlayStation. They didn't have a PS4, they have a PS4 Pro, and they didn't buy a PS5. Yeah, and this game, I don't think this game comes out at $60.
It's like what I said. PC players are not out there.
No, I know. I don't speak. But I focus. My focus is PC players. I don't speak for all PC players. But just like you said, you don't think PC players they normally play different games. I know that they normally play different games, but I don't think that this is a game that they wouldn't play.
Yeah, they'll play this. It'll be.
I don't know about not hitting big on PC either when they don't have to pay $60 for it. This game's gonna be $40.
Is it? Oh.
There's no way. PC. There's no way this game launches 3 years later. I'll tell you this right now.
That's a different. I hate that.
There's no way. Listen, let me eat my fucking words. Let me time out. Let me eat my words when this game comes out on PC and it's not and it's $60. There's no shot this game launches at $60.
Okay.
On PC.
I agree with you. It's not.
I'll say it right now.
PC demands it's always been a lower price.
I've seen not a game that's not a 4. By the time it comes out, it's going to be 4 years old.
Yeah. Not only that, but I've seen new games launch at the same time where PC is cheaper. Like the same exact game, PC is cheaper.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm not going to have the conversation with Tech because I just think he wants to start shit, and I'll just say that right now. I'm not going to start the whole back and forth. It doesn't matter how much they do. Just anything, any at this point on a game that's that old. That's like people now that still buy Master Chief Collection or anything like that. The game came out in 2015. Yeah. If you're still buying Master Chief Collection right now, it's like pocket change. This is going to be pocket change for Sony. Because they already made their money on God of War. This is just this is just like another revenue stream that they get to cash in now on and finally tap.
Which is what Jim Ryan's been. He's a businessman.
And guess what? And this is what Xbox has done the best part because they already have the eco, and then we'll just tie it back to that conversation. Xbox was already ahead of the game with this.
Yeah.
That's why on Windows 11 they have full integration with fucking Xbox, and that's why they're already ahead of the game with Game Pass. Because you're already getting day and date with first-party games, and there is no porting over. They're being made and designed, i.e. Halo, from the fucking ground up. So we could already have this discussion about the one company that's already doing it right. But this is the second company finally coming to terms with, hey, I guess we could actually eat a little bit too.
I won't look. Jim Ryan knows. He knows where the money's at. The thing is, he has to cater to the fan base of that system.
But to TK's point, how many people are really interested? Right, no, exactly. Specifically to PlayStation, but to TK's point, are there really people interested in PS? It's the fucking Kevin Costner. Dude, it's the Kevin Costner Field of Dreams movie. If you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
Like it's if you make it available, there will be an audience for it. What that audience is going to be,
We
I don't
don't
know.
know.
Maybe it's
It could be 1.
5,000
It could be
people.
100. It could be 1,000. It could be. We don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe it's 5,000 people. Maybe it's fucking 500 people. Who knows? But that's still 500 more people than what they had from when the game first came out
But
in
that's still
2018.
money in their pocket, which is the goal at the end of the day, because they already made their money tenfold on that God of War series. All they're doing is
So
trying
now
to get the
now at this point you could be
they're
like,
trying
oh,
to
you're
get
just milking
cherries
it.
and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to impress me? Put a first party title on there that you got coming out
Right now. Yeah.
right now.
Give me Horizon.
You want it? That's what I mean. If
Forbidden
that's the
West.
conversation, then you really want to impress me. Put a game that you got coming out right now on there.
God of War to PC is too late. I mean, that's how they control the narrative over them, and they wait 3 years. And again, what Ryan's doing over there is he's catering to the fan base of that system. For years, it's always been about the exclusivity, and he's breaking that down little. Love him or hate this guy, he's breaking that wall down little by little.
Well, look at the second part of this content that you have going on. Look when we talk about exclusivity.
The
COD 1 year exclusive DLC is back.
Yeah, the COD
what the fuck is that about?
Like, and it's not. I want to be clear about it. It's not like the maps that come out free. None of that stuff. It's that bullshit they did with Destiny, with the weapon skins and that. And
PlayStation gets first knock. They get first dip. But that means that Activision paid for this again.
Yeah.
Like that. That's another thing. Like somehow there was a deal that was struck.
Let's not look
like
past
money was exchanged.
Yeah.
The money was exchanged. Like they got paid to do this shit again.
I hate where
to make PlayStation
Call of Duty has gone to, but we cannot turn a blind eye to how much money that shit makes. So having this on your system is a system seller.
Hex from Optic was just talking about it, that they made because of Warzone, they make a stupid amount of money now on a monthly basis because of skins, because of what skins, and because like you thought skins were crazy, just specifically like if you think about Black Ops, the last Call of Duty to come out, and then now we like with what they do now. I mean, they just put the fucking Scream guy, the movie that's coming out in January. Ghostface. They just fucking added him again. You think people didn't run out in the masses and fucking buy that thing?
You're gonna see this Halloween. There's gonna be people out there with fucking Scream masks. You don't think this had anything to do with it? Like this didn't push that out again?
But that's marketing. But you think the movie company that's putting out the next Scream didn't call up Activision and said, "Yo,"
because they're about to come out another movie, I think in February. So this is good marketing for them.
January, I think actually, it's like January 22nd. But that's what I mean. But January and then Halloween, so you're getting into that thing, and then you do this whole release. And you put Ghostface in there and stuff like that. So they know what they're doing. So that whole exclusivity. But the fact is that you still have a company that's paying for exclusivity. But who's Xbox to talk? Because we don't just pay companies for exclusivity. We just buy the fucking company.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm speaking as the Xbox for, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like I'll just buy the company, and then I'll buy the publisher who publishes that fucking. I'm buying the whole fucking thing now.
Who's lending your money? I want to buy that person out. Like that's who I want to buy.
Yeah. Who's allowing you to make this game? Oh, these people. I'll just buy them. And now I own the whole fucking thing.
Facts, Paulie. Jim Ryan is the leader PlayStation needs. I agree. Fanboys get mad, but he's dragging them to the future, kicking and screaming. I agree. Jim Ryan, as much as we've been joking on this guy and how he goes back and forth and reneges on his stuff and always, he's always doing 2 steps forward, 5 steps back. Think about what he's doing. His fan base is not easy to just say, hey, guess what? Day and date PlayStation now. You can't do that with that fan base. They're all about the exclusivity. It's their thing. So what he's doing is it may be tactical. He's bringing them little by little into, hey, we're gonna go on PC. Maybe not day and date, 2-3 years, but it's still, then that's gonna turn to 2 years, then 1 year. Then you're gonna see a service come out. They're gonna have a service like Game Pass. It is inevitable. The subscription based model is successful. Netflix was not successful when they first began at all. Hulu was not successful when they first began. It is now that you're starting to see the reaps their so like the benefits of having this service on for a while.
And then look at how many iterations that they had, like, and where everybody had to start from somewhere, right? But sometimes it literally is, like you said, to your point, it feels like he's dragging them, like kicking and screaming along the way. But this is the eventuality if he wants to stay profitable. That's another thing too. If there are numbers, if we know this, and this is just speaking to in a non-biased way, if there are numbers that are basically saying like certain sales and certain games aren't performing a certain way, and if he already knows that, and if you just think of it from a business perspective, when you have your biggest competitor or one of your biggest competitors, let's just say Microsoft is already doing day and date first party with Xbox, but because they have the ecosystem with PC, with Windows, that they're able to do all their first party titles. They made that commitment to put them all on PC. It's like he's seeing that as like that's like almost a missed opportunity.
Correct.
And if he's not going to go and meet, and if they're not fully going to commit and try to do some subscription service, like Matt was even saying or alluding to before, what's the next best thing? Well, we could try to get some of our exclusives that we had basically and put them over on PC. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, listen, better late than never at this point, right? So it's like, because
it's happening though. Like, if you don't see the writing on the wall, it's happening. It's the man. He's running a business. At the end of the day, he's running a business. He has to make money for that. He needs to keep his job. And how you keep your job? You keep making money for the board, with the committee, for the board members. You have to keep making the money. How do you make money? Let's see. Days Gone didn't make much money when it was on console. Let's put it on PC. Oh shit! Look what happened. They made money on console. Like, these are on PC. These are things that are already in the talks. It's happening. It's not going to be a surprise. Like, to us, surprise, or to those who are not listening and understand,
right? Who are paying attention?
Who are not paying attention is a surprise to them who are not paying attention. But this is going to happen. My whole thing is, and I said this before, man, exclusives is a thing that was a great thing when I was on PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 and even the 4. It was a great thing. It sold me a lot on their system. But I'm at that point where I'm like, it's not about exclusivities no more. I want to play it wherever I want, however I want. Yeah. And I also want something, thank you Game Pass, for a subscription base. Like, if PS Now was to say day and date on their games, God, fuck, that would be great. If they would do day and date on that subscription service.
Like we've already talked about this. So like, they literally, they have the infrastructure, they just need to do it. But if they're deciding not to do it because maybe they have something else, maybe they want to keep PS Now a certain way and they're going to have another thing, or maybe they don't have anything coming down the pipeline and they feel that this is how they do something. This is the way that they somehow manage to be competitive.
Yeah.
And because that's basically what it is. They be competitive. Right. Or if they just want to be happy with, what they've got. Like, I don't know. It's not about hearts and minds anymore. It's still, like you said, it's about keeping their current player base happy. But also, too, it wouldn't hurt if they could get a couple of extra people to tag along. And who necessarily, if they're not going to get people to go run out there and go and buy PlayStations.
Right.
Excuse me. The least that they could do is to provide the actual games that they on there, at a later date.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's cool. I mean, I can't honestly, me personally, God of War, when it does come out on PC, like I said, I don't see it being more than $40.
I don't think it's.
But let's just say it's $60. It's going to be one of those games where because I played it, I won't. But eventually, when it goes on sale, and I get one of those websites, when I check on one of my websites, and I see it on sale for like fucking $10 or $15, I'm gonna love to buy it. And I'm going to love to be like, oh, I own that shit on Steam. Or I own that on whatever XYZ, whatever they decide to launch it on, if it comes on Steam or Epic Play or whatever tool that they actually use to sell it or whatever. I think that's going to be great. Just like majority of the other games that I own that I didn't pay full price for. There's so many games that I own on my PC that I did not pay full price for, and I'm fucking proud of that.
Yeah.
I'm proud of that every time. If I tell people what I fucking paid for Borderlands, the whole collection, and it makes people sick. Yeah, I didn't get to experience it when everybody else did, but I still have that game to go back to every time and any time I fucking want, and I know what I paid for it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that it wasn't worth what it was when it first launched, but I know what I got to pay for it, and when I played it,
it's your value. It's
or when I was able to, or when I was able to obtain it.
Yeah, perfect.
It's as simple as that, and then it just build on my library.
Yeah. Paulie, you onto something, Paulie. PlayStation exclusives are now becoming time exclusives. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. The last thing with this PlayStation news is patented kick player system. This came out during the week. I haven't really.
What's that about?
To be honest, I haven't really been looking into it, like deep diving into it. But it's one on the surface, it just looks bad. It's one of these things where from what I read is that spectators, if you're streaming you're like, say you're streaming off a PlayStation, right, on Twitch, YouTube, whatever it is, the spectators are able to vote on people getting kicked or benching them from the multiplayer session. So if you're playing a game like, say, Call of Duty, and the spectators are not liking a certain player, they're able to vote for that player to be benched.
I don't like that.
And they're able to pay to do this. Like, you pay to do this.
Nah, fuck that.
That's the surface. I haven't deep dived into it, but when I saw
unless they turn that into some type of like game show or something, like where they make it like an actual thing.
I don't know what this is.
Like where people are knowing that they're going to do it. Like if they make like a game that's specifically tailored to that, that's the only way that you could justify that. But how do you justify that?
I just don't know. I'm thinking of a good way to I'm lost for words.
I just said games. Like, there's no way unless people are fully aware that could happen. Because what if I show up into a streamer's game and they don't like I don't have my name hidden, but they have their name hidden, so I don't know who they are, right? Because that's the big thing, right? Like people go in streamers and stuff like that, and then the people that are watching them, they don't like the way I'm performing, or they think I'm trolling the streamer that they like, that they're simping for, or whatever the fuck. And then I get voted out. Like they somehow manage a way to like kick me out of that person's game. Like, if that's true and if that's really what this system is, no, fuck
Well, it's
that.
already
That
been patented.
sounds
Will
stupid.
they implement it? I don't see them implementing this because many things have been patented during the years and histories of
But they have things like you play Insurgency.
Yeah.
You see how they have the old school
the voting system,
voting system
in the game. Yeah.
That's real. They have that. That's Counter-Strike. That's old school. That's old school
But
PC shit. Where you can just go in.
A system like
and
that
select.
only voting to kick in a game like Insurgency only works because the game is not. It's truly about gunplay. There's no level. The leveling means nothing. There's no prestiging. There's no calling airstreak. There's none of that kill streaks. It's pure game gunplay, so it's able to work in that manner. And we just used it the other day. This guy ended up again team killing me. Like in that game, you can make the mistake of shooting somebody and go, "Fuck, my bad," and you can tell them, "My bad," and he turns around and still fucking shoots me until he kills me. I'm like,
well, for games that don't automatically do that, like remember the Call of Duties of the day, you know what I mean? That they just kick you. Sometimes it wouldn't be a lot of TK if you play hardcore. It would only take like two or three, and see first you get the messages like on PC most of the time, even on PC, you get the message like don't do it again, and the next time it's like gone. But see, that was another thing too. Like I remember old school Battlefield playing on PC with my dad. Sometimes you join a server, and if you didn't follow the server rules, like don't use this gun, this gun, or that gun, see ya, and you accidentally fucking used it, you didn't get oh my bad. Nah, you used it, and the admin who was on, they saw that you used it. It came up in the kill feed or whatever. Fucking right out of here. But it's their server. They paid for that server. They're hosting it. That's out of the official EA server. So guess what?
You're joining somebody's private server.
You're joining somebody's private server, basically.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. TK, it does. I see what you're saying with the stream sniping.
It could.
But like anything else that's supposed to be used in a good way,
it could be used malicious. It could be used maliciously.
Yeah, we tend to take it and make it a bad thing. We're just that way.
How trolly does that sound though when you think about it? Like imagine how trolly that is.
Yeah.
Like if you think about how trolly you could get with that, if you know that your viewership would have the power to fucking
think of
do something over
Dr. Disrespect. You got Nick Merckx out there who has big followings and they're watching a stream. Guys, let's go ahead and vote this like easy, boom, gone. No,
but just maliciously, just because.
Yeah, it's hard. But that's the news PlayStation had for the week. God of War going to PC. I'm excited for that because it allows more gamers, more options, more choices, more avenues to play that game. It came out in 2018. Then you have your Call of Duty 1-year exclusivity DLC, not the free maps that come out on there, not that, but the stuff they did with previous Call of Duty titles and even Destiny when they were still part of Activision, where it's like camos and like even modes and stuff like that were being put behind paid exclusivity. Yeah, crazy. I can't believe they went back to that. And then you have your patented cake player system, we just spoke about. But that
I need to see more on that. I need to see.
I didn't want to.
You know what that also sounds like too. That sounds like one of those patents that you hear about. You're like, maybe that becomes something, and then you never fucking see.
That's what I mean. How many times have you seen patents for different things? And it's like, oh shit, never comes out.
Even good ones. Oh look, they're gonna make a spaceship or whatever the fuck. Or remember the original Boomerang controller that they had for the PlayStation?
Yeah.
That it looked like boomerangs. It's like, and they did the patent for everybody. Was like, how the fuck is anybody gonna hold that shit? And then you got the controller, was like, this feels good. It's like, okay, I wish the thumbstick was the other way because you got used to the Xbox controller and then you just wish that they fucking swapped the position. But
patents has been around for ages. It could be.
They're just doing it just to make sure.
Yeah. It may never come out. It could have been done just to keep their name in people's mouths.
Or if they license it. Like imagine if they actually find a real way to it and then they license it to somebody. Just another way for them to make money because they came up with the idea.
Where they know somebody is planning on doing something like this and they jumped. They
jumped ahead because they had the money and they said yes. No, now you got to come to us and license that shit
and pay for that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Correct.
But that kind of takes that's for PlayStation news. We do speak PlayStation. Excuse me.
That's it. Is that what we're gonna do? We're gonna have one segment dedicated every week to.
We have to just to throw the bone and hey we we can talk
just
PlayStation
just to get the chat riled up. And listen, at least I know how to get a rise out of TK.
Oh yeah,
No,
yeah.
at least
You and TK are
that's
blast,
it.
bro. TK, I need you
At
here
least I know how to
every
get a rise
fucking
out of
week.
TK. I just mentioned that and just
I
bing.
need you here every fucking week, TK. This is
That's
good.
it.
Good shit.
It'll be easy.
But no, we can. I just wanted to show we can talk PlayStation without having to fucking down punch people. It's or punch down. What's the new term now? What's that new thing people using?
Up, down, left, right,
Punch down,
AB.
up, down, punch, or whatever they're calling it now.
No, that wasn't it.
No. What's his name? Chappelle did it on the show. He talked about it. Down punching, whatever.
Punching down.
Punching
is
down.
The term.
There you go. That's a new phrase everybody's using now. So, but that's it for the PlayStation news. I gotta take a shower after that. But what's next? The next thing is let's Splinter Cell. We got a little small topics to end the show with. We got Splinter Cell and the Xbox 20th anniversary show. Let's go with Splinter Cell. Right off the bat.
Like Ubi is like the gift that fucking keeps on giving and not in a good way.
I'm not doing this.
I'm just saying, but that's why this literally should be short and sweet. I have no faith, and I know we talked about it a little bit before we went live. I have no faith in whatever the fuck they think it's coming out. New Splinter Cell. Okay, hopefully
we want a Splinter
good.
Cell, not by Ubi. That's it. That's the conversation. We want a Splinter Cell, not by this Ubi. Not at all. Sell that fucking IP or rent it out to somebody else. Let them work on it and get this right. Because I do not want this Ubi to create this Splinter Cell. I'm not. I don't want it. I mean, y'all probably gonna get upset with me in the chat and talk all this, but I'm dying. If you guys followed me for a while and watched this podcast, everybody knows I want a Splinter Cell. Really bad. Really bad. I think even Logic says he would like
a good, but like a good one, like how they used to fucking make them.
Bring this shit back to the glory days. I don't want a Ubisoft now making this game at all. I just fear they're gonna fuck up this IP. Just mess it up. And that's my thing. But that's Splinter Cell, and let's go with the last one. If you guys want to keep talking about the track, go ahead. But I'm more excited about this. I can give two shits about Ubi making a Splinter Cell. Xbox 20th
Paul, I do have to highlight, before we do that, I do have to highlight this comment.
I hope
free-to-play microtransaction abomination. Yeah.
Yes. Paul,
no, it needs to not. It needs to not be that. How about we just get a game, Marvel Avengers, where you just make a good fucking game? I'm sorry, I can't, because I actually enjoy playing that fucking game.
But you enjoyed the campaign,
and the fact that
like I did.
I enjoy the campaign, but then when you get to the post thing, it's like,
nope,
no. So it's like, just.
It's like two different companies built that game. One did the fucking campaign and then they passed it on.
You have to make a game now just because it's one of those things where it's like you as a developer feel like you need to make a game a certain way because that's like the standard. And unfortunately, you then lose, like you just try to build a game and you end up just making a game like everything else instead of just being original or just keeping true to the actual IP itself if it is an established IP. And then, unfortunately, you turn a game that could have been, or that is a beloved franchise, and then you just beloved. Turn it on its fucking head, or you take a new IP and you just basically make it something, you try to make it into something that we already have, but you can't even live up to that expectation.
Look, the pathway Ubi's been on the past few years, and then the message they came out with saying they're gearing more towards live service kind of gaming. Kind of gives me the brakes on news like this when they talk about Splinter Cell. I'm like, why are you bringing in? Like, why now? You could have brought this out for like a long time now. Why now? Like, it's been a while, and all of a sudden you talked about live service. You showed us what live service looks like for Ubisoft, and now you're talking about Splinter Cell. I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't need. I want to see what they got before I even continue that conversation. Because right now, not a thing for me. I'm not even hyped. Not on my radar.
Like, give me at least an idea of a story or something like that when it's set. What you're gonna do?
Look at Turpin. I want that Siphon filter.
Yeah, please.
Oh my god!
Since we were on the topic of remasters and stuff like that, yeah, I'll pay for that. Give me that Siphon filter 1, 2. I mean, 3 is like but 1 and 2. I still have the PS if I log in because I think actually on the PlayStation
PSP version.
If I had the PSP version, but remember back when the PS3 allowed you to play the PSP versions on the PS3, and you could download them, and then it was like really, it's like you thought it was fucking like small and shit. You fucking playing on the handheld, and then you're playing on a bigger screen.
It's like, oh shit, but it cuts, but it doesn't make it. It's like it's letterbox or whatever you want to call that.
Oh
like, fuck it, I'll take it. I'll take that.
Whatever. Shit. At this point, remastered Siphon filter would be sick. Running through the fucking the museum.
You couldn't watch a full-length movie on your PSP.
Diffusing. dude, diffusing the freaking bombs on the
bomb?
subway. Oh my god!
And
The little
I would
square,
like
the little
that.
square sniper. Remember the sniper just running, and then you just running around, you doing circles, and you just holding the
Or
fucking gun
even
out.
better, don't even do a remaster. Do a reimagining.
I'll take but they did that. We got
Oh yeah,
a
we did.
siphon filter. We
Yeah.
on PS2, I think it was.
Yeah.
It was like,
So like, give me a remake. Do something you did with
yeah,
Mafia or
full
Final
on.
Fantasy. Give
Yeah.
me a remake.
Yeah.
But yeah, the next thing I want to talk about is the 20th anniversary is coming up.
Yeah, man.
It's coming up, man. Here's what I was alluding to in the beginning of the show when it comes
What is the
to
actual day? Do we know the day?
November. Chat, help me out here. I'm a bad Xbox fan.
It's the same day that Halo launched, obviously. Halo Combat Evolved,
I
because that was
think yeah, it's November.
Yeah.
I want to say November 9th. Chat, help me out, or Matt, somebody. But here's what I think is going to happen at this show, and I know
November 22nd.
Oh, 22nd?
Yeah.
TK saying 15.
November 22nd.
Oh, you looked
2000.
It up? You looked it
Oh,
up?
no. I apologize. Nope, that's Xbox One. Why the fuck did they do that? Hold on, I apologize.
Really, they did that?
No. Hold on, because I typed in OG, and it didn't say November 15th.
Oh, okay. So 15th. So okay.
15th.
November
Yeah.
15th. This show is happening. I can't wait to see what they share when it comes to the memories and throughout the years of what's happened.
Oh, we have a show right before.
We do, yeah, because I think the 15th falls on a Monday, right? Yeah. So, perfect. We might even,
And we have a show at
yeah. So
we'll be talking about it.
We'll talk about it. We always do that. But it's one of those things where this show, I can't wait to see the nostalgia is going to bring me, because nostalgia in this gaming community is a bitch. It's like that's what we live on that. We thrive on that. So I want to see the 20 years. I want to see the Duke controller, the Halo experience. But here's what I think is going to happen on the show. I'm reaching high on this one. But I honestly think they're going to show off, because it is the anniversary of Halo and all that going on. I do think they're going to show the single player campaign at this show.
That would make perfect sense.
It would make perfect sense. It might be even a safe kind of a thing to say, but some people want to look at me and go, "Wow, you really serious?" They're going to show, because it's literally less than a month away from that point forward. It's less than a month away for the campaign to launch.
And it's still long, and it still gives you, like, you're close enough to it where it's like you're really teasing it out, and then but at a place because when you think about it, there's nothing else coming up besides them just doing their own individual thing.
Right.
But this would be the best place, since they actually already announced that they're doing a show about it. There's no other place that you would do, but
no,
the
only other place
better
I would have thought would be the Jeff Keighley thing, but that's after the launch. That's the only other place I would think.
The Game Awards?
That's after the
Game Awards comes after December 8th, right? It's already so that's
so
already
going
to be.
My thought process, man, maybe there, but then when I said December 8th, I'm like, no way, it's going to be way.
No, but that's still, but no, I'm with you on that. I think as a safe assumption, we're I won't say definitely, but it's highly likely that we actually get some campaign video, like actual campaign footage, like even if it's just like, it might be like a little bit of like a mission that's somewhere in the middle of the game or early, like, because I don't know if they necessarily want to spoil the story and things like that. So, but we're gonna get some in-game looking and stuff like that, and just that would be sick.
I would like that.
I mean, they already hyped it. Jason's like, they already told us it's coming. Like, we're getting it. We got the PC stuff going for it already. They already put that out on its YouTube.
That out there. They're getting all that information out the way first before they show that campaign.
Info dump, basically, before we get the campaign stuff.
The dev stories. I can't wait, and I'm hoping that they actually do show the campaign this date.
Anything else besides Halo, though, that they might? I was going to say, like
Killer Instinct. Because I know it's a rumor going on where another Killer Instinct is being made, but this time it looks like
not the Killer Instinct that just had come out when they did.
No. The rumors are talking about a Killer Instinct with literally characters from the Xbox ecosystem. You have your Doom guy, you have your Senua, you have your Master Chief, like in KI.
That'd be sick.
And I know TK is probably gonna be excited about that because he's a fighting game kind of guy. But that right there, when it's a rumor, but if that's happening. You're gonna have a fighting, because I think every console is represented by a fighting game, kind of like you got Smash Brothers, Melee with the Nintendo. Then you have PlayStation Star.
Well, Smash Melee is Nintendo.
Well, that's their thing but they also have other characters from other games. But they have primarily Mario's in there, Link, all that's in there. Yeah, which is
they've done also. They've done like, because they've been fans of other games and stuff like that, or other developers being fans of them. You've gotten Snake inside of a Smash game. You've gotten crossovers and things like that.
They just announced the Final Fantasy one, like that kind of like.
You got Sora now was the last character that they just put in as well. but yeah, Sephiroth they had it. So yeah, but even like Virtual Fighter for Sega,
Like every
Tekken,
platform has had,
Tekken,
yeah.
Sony, but even though it went multi-platform as well too. Even Jesus, Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur.
SoCal had other people as well in
Didn't
it
they have Master Chief
from
in it?
other games as well. I want to say
I think they had Master
Chief was
Chief
in
in
a
it. Yeah, yeah,
SoCal. I want to put Link was in a SoCal.
yeah.
Remember, no, the SoCal that they did that on each individual console, they had a player,
Oh, that's what it
they had a
was.
character. That's
Yeah.
what it was. So they had a SoCal that came out. I think it was SoCal 4, if I remember. It was SoCal 3 or 4, one of those. And
I want to say
Link was
4.
in the Link was in the GameCube version of it. The PS2 version, I forget who the fuck was in it. And then there was, I think, oh no, it was what's his name from Tekken, the fucking
With the hair?
Hitachi, what's his name with the hair, the wings,
Yeah, the wing
fucking
hair guy.
yeah, I can't think of his name right now.
TK, help us
Somebody
out, damn it.
please, somebody. And then I think on the Xbox One, wasn't it Chief?
There you
Was
go,
it Chief or was
Yoshimitsu.
it or was it Spartan?
Did I say that right?
It was Yoshimitsu.
Hitachi. Okay.
Hitachi,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
But I think Yoshimitsu was in SoCal as well too. They actually
Yeah.
they put him in SoCal. But and I think Chief was for
Yeah, but like to go back to the point, it's almost like every system has like their mascot fighting game. You know,
Yeah.
PlayStation All Star has theirs, and like Microsoft doesn't have that. Xbox doesn't really have something like that. They have
No.
they don't have like a mashup kind of a fighter. So if
No.
this rumors are true, what they're saying with the KI having Master Chiefs and Noah and all these,
No, but if they would do that and legitimately put like their actual characters,
Correct.
but do they have enough? Do they? I mean, now they might because of Bethesda. I mean, I was going to say they literally might have the studios to pull from, like all the main characters and stuff. I think that's the question.
And now
do
with
they have enough
fucking
main characters to
Bethesda,
fill?
they got Doom's guy they
Yeah.
can put in there. Like it's just it goes on and on and on with this. So if these rumors
Yeah.
are true, I'm looking forward to maybe showing something like that. Even though they said nothing new would be shown, they already came out and said nothing new will be shown or nothing that we're working on will be shown. But I still expect them to show what the wording was. Nothing new will be shown. That doesn't mean Halo because that's not.
Right.
It's technically it's been shown already. It's not a new thing.
Yeah.
But I want to see those two things. Hopefully, those two things get either talked about or
But they
shown.
could also say that too, and then just completely say because they don't want to ruin any type of surprises or give any hints or stuff like that too. So.
Oh, Dead or Alive. Yes, that's the one that had the female Spartan. And yes,
they
had
you.
the Master Chief female Spartan there. Well, not Master Chief. But
Thank you.
Thank you, TK.
Okay. I remember there's a lot of games fucking.
But I want to really tone down the expectation. This is not a showing off game kind of a show. This is not that. This is celebrating 20 years of Xbox and what Xbox has been doing for the last 20 years.
We're gonna see the 20th anniversary, the fucking Xbox Series X, the Master Chief one that nobody's gonna be able to.
We're gonna get sold another controller and another fucking console. Woo! And
the 20th anniversary console that'll be available. Yeah.
2 terabyte Halo SSD.
for $450, and that's when I fucking throw my mouse at my monitor. The fuck.
We're gonna wrap up. That was our show. We covered, and I'm lagging again. We covered 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different topics. I think that's the most topics we've ever covered on our show. We did miss last week because I was out sick.
Yeah, we're a little extended this week because we did miss last week. So.
It's okay. I was we skipped last week because I was a little, I would say a little under the weather, but that's exaggerating it. That's
no, you were under the weather.
Yeah. So underselling under weather. But I appreciate you guys coming out. I think today we capped that at 20. I saw 20 up there as far as listeners coming in. I appreciate you guys coming in. New listeners, I appreciate you coming in. If you're still around, thank you. Make sure you hit the sub button if you like what you heard. Hit the like, down, up, whatever you want to hit there. It helps algorithm regardless.
Yeah, if you're part of our audio listeners, thank you for hanging out with us.
Audio listeners, thank you.
We appreciate it. So and everywhere, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts,
this will be on all the above starting every Wednesday. The new episode
every Wednesday
on there. I look forward to this week's episode on Wednesday for my little midweek thoughts, which is like 2-3 minute videos. And then I already have my interview that's going to premiere Friday. I hope you guys can join me for that one. The person I have for this coming up Friday, it's a good one. And I sat down with little over 30 minutes on that. Things were mentioned on that. Even Logic came up on the conversation on that. So you guys will enjoy it. It's next Friday, premiering at 5 p.m. Eastern time. But I thank you guys for coming in. Thank you guys for appreciating what we do here, sharing us out, liking us, and talking about us, man. We're a small podcast channel that could, and we are doing it. So to everybody in the chat, appreciate you, love you. Have a good fucking Sunday. The rest of your Sunday, watch some football. I'm gonna go watch my Knicks. But like we always say, every fucking week, happy fucking gaming, everybody.
Taylor about the fucking flex.